Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Monday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. This is where Jerry fills his tank.
Yeah.
And it gets him to about 9:30.
Oh, yeah. How do you know?
I'll watch you over here. Right after the show, he goes over to the Dove Executive Lounge and takes a nap.
You know, a nap is a very important part of the day, man.
Come on. Naps are wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, good morning to you. Happy Monday. A lot in the news. Wow. I just was mentioning to Jerry, I wonder if the Lord's trying to get our attention.
Oh, boy. And
we've got hurricanes.
Right. Yeah.
We've got tropical storms. We got earthquakes.
We have wars.
We got wars.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Is anybody paying attention?
Well, it ought to refocus things. I realize we can get tied up in the headlines and get all kinds of angry and everything else, but what is God really trying to tell us?
Yeah.
Do we take time to say that he really is in control of everything and that at the end of the day he's working everything to his end, not to ours?
Right.
So are we going to fight it or join it?
Yes, and the Lord says, come to me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Anyway, that's a little bit of the sermonette. The rest is coming later.
Yes.
Good morning to you. Anything special?
Well, it is. First of all, National I Love My Feet Day. It's a day to appreciate how valuable our feet really are and to practice good foot care and pamper our feet because, after all, our feet are our primary mode of transportation. Hey, they're trimmed and clean and everything. Now, the stuff above it is a little bit dicey and shaky. But, yeah, hey, I'm just happy to be able to get down there and take care of them at this point in time. And I've always been pretty good on the left foot through rehabilitation.
Yeah.
And right foot is primarily Pam's responsibility.
Well, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, I'm trim and clean.
I know.
Oh, man, the whole deal.
So I have a question for you.
Oh, no.
Before all your leg issues.
Yeah.
Are you able to still get down and trim your own toenails?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Are you able to see them?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Even when I look, standing up straight down, I know I got toes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're a little bit younger than I am.
My dog. Well, it's determination, man. Let it go.
Yeah.
It's also National Nonprofit Day, recognizing the goals and positive impacts nonprofits have on our communities and communities all around the world. And on the heels of that, it's also National Thrift Shop Day, which many thrift shops are nonprofits.
Really?
Yeah, like Goodwill.
Goodwill.
And what's the Catholic one?
St. Vincent de Paul.
St. Vincent de Paul, yes.
Salvation Army.
Yes, and of course, bargain shopping galore. Nearly every town in the United States offers a thrift shop or secondhand store. There's no excuse not to celebrate, and some thrift shops are nonprofits, obviously, and you get some great deals. And it's also this part of recycling. Not throwing stuff out that's still usable. Now, I have a tendency to be a little bit tight on not wanting to let things go.
Oh.
Pam says, what are you holding on to this for? It's like, well, because it's useful. Well, what are you going to use it for? I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure that there is something coming up where I will need this. And besides that, this is too good to throw away. She goes, well, put it in the thrift shop donation pile.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, look, I really think we ought to rethink this thing.
What?
Well, you're making an excellent point here. Why sit on something when somebody else can use it?
Right.
And in today's world where the economy is tight, if you got 14 pairs of Levi's, you only need 2.
Exactly. And you know what else?
Give it to the Salvation Army or St. Vincent de Paul and let them bless somebody else.
And keep track of it because you actually get tax deductions for what you donate. Yeah. Ask Bill Clinton. He even got deductions for his drawers.
Well, God bless Bill Clinton. But I was thinking about this the other day. I thought, why do we do this? I mean, the only thing that you should probably keep more than 6 months is Christmas decorations.
There you go. Yes.
Everything else, if you don't touch it they say if you don't touch something within 3 months,
Yes.
you probably don't really need it.
Right. Yes.
Now, outside of tools and Christmas decorations, what else?
Right, and I have a problem in that sense too. You asked if I could see my toes. I've been wearing the same size clothes since high school.
Yeah.
And so I have a tendency to even have some of those clothes hanging in my closet.
Get over it.
And it's like, here's shirts, and unfortunately you get so stacked, you're thinking, okay, I need to get rid of these.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Let me give you a little bit of revelation.
Okay.
A little father-son thing.
Okay, lay it on me, man. Lay it.
Okay.
All right.
Your kids don't want it.
That's the
Your kids
truth.
don't want it. And they could care less if it was your high school T-shirt. They don't care. In fact, we were Peggy, in our generation, you had china and silver and crystal. These kids don't want that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
They you know what? It's not even on their radar screen.
In my house, it's even gone the other way. I was wearing this pair of black, they're really nice, they're like chukka boots.
Yeah.
And Pete's wife, Whitney, said, I was wearing them one night, and she goes, those are really nice. I said, thanks, they're Pete's. He left them when he moved out.
Well,
she went, Pete!
Well, anyway, double think this stuff, really. That's why these thrift stores exist. And they really do an amazing service. To the community, far better than the government will ever do.
Right. So. You know what? It's also fun to find treasures, going there. That's the other part of going to thrift shop, shopping, is that you may buy stuff that you just put away because you think it's a great idea to have.
Yeah.
It's like you got rid of stuff for the same reason. You thought it was a good idea to have, but you were forced into getting rid of it. Don't bring more home,
Well, did you, every once in a while there's some surprises in them.
That's right.
We had stories where guys will reach in his pocket and there was a $100 bill,
Right.
Down inside.
Yes, and they
that.
open up a picture frame and there's like a valuable piece of artwork behind it.
Yeah, you never know. But anyway, moreover is don't be a hoarder. Give it away because somebody can use it. And you know what? Not only use it, somebody needs it.
That's right.
So that's the other point of my sermon. I got two now. I got point three coming up later.
We're rolling. It's early.
All right.
Okay, one last thing. One consumable.
Yeah.
And especially with what's going on over in Hawaii, it is National Pineapple Juice Day.
Ooh.
A tropical drink that delivers a refreshing boost of hydration and vitamin C. One sip of pineapple juice instantly transports your taste buds to the tropics. And of course, we think of James Dole, 1899. He moved to Hawaii with $1,000 and a Harvard degree, and he began growing pineapples and purchased a 60-acre pineapple plantation, and quickly realized he had a sweet opportunity to provide the juiciest pineapples in the world. And is that where the juiciest come from?
Dole?
Yeah, Dole in Hawaii.
Dole in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how is the pineapple crop doing with this latest storm?
Well, I have a little storm update for you, but it's quite serious. The Big Island got hit pretty hard, and it's heading over to Honolulu.
We'll wait and for that story anyway. But that's all I got. Enjoy. Go thrift shopping and have a swig of pineapple juice on your way.
All right, there you go. All right, here's a guy that is in recovery, but he'll be all right.
Here's a look at today's weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, mostly sunny skies with highs in the low 80s for Vancouver and Portland. Wilsonville and McMinnville warm into the mid to upper 80s this afternoon. Through the Willamette Valley, partly sunny skies continue with Salem and Albany reaching the mid 80s. Corvallis tops out near 85 with decreasing clouds, while Eugene stays mostly cloudy with a high near 86. Central Oregon sees patchy smoke through the day with Prineville reaching 89. Bend and Sun River both top out near 85, while Boise turns hot with sunshine and an afternoon high near 95. Along the Oregon coast, mostly sunny skies bring a high of 75 in Coos Bay, while Port Orford stays partly sunny near 68. Brookings sees decreasing clouds near 56, and Crescent City starts with areas of fog before becoming mostly cloudy near 61. Across southern Oregon, gradual clearing develops in Grants Pass with highs near 93. Medford reaches 94 with decreasing clouds. Ashland tops out near 90, and Klamath Falls also sees decreasing clouds with a high near 86. In Northern California, partly sunny skies bring Wairika to 86, while Redding turns hot near 96. Chico stays mostly sunny with a high near 94, and Fort Bragg sees decreasing clouds with a high near 60. Around the Bay Area, patchy fog gives way to mostly sunny skies and 77 in Santa Rosa. Napa stays mostly sunny near 78. San Francisco is partly sunny near 67. And San Jose starts with patchy fog before sunshine and 81. For Central California, mostly sunny conditions continue with Sacramento near 91 and Stockton Modesto becoming sunny near 90. Fresno Visalia reached 97 and Bakersfield climbs to 98 under mostly sunny skies. And that's a look at your Monday weather from Grange Co-op.
Little point of our valley this morning. The sun's still quite a ways from coming all the way up. We do have some smoke over the top of us, and we'll give you a fire update here a little bit, but it's still hot and dry. We're in the middle of August, and there we go.
Hey, we're probably going to be dealing with smoke until the rains come.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll see.
Depending on which way the wind blows, but they're close and they're in that proximity. You know, you get that northwest wind coming in and it pushes. Oh, now there's a sight.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
These are people that have really not had a revelation that there's another life.
So be it.
Besides
so
this
be it. Leave it. You know the old saying.
Yeah. These are people that are so trapped they don't know what to do. That's the Bay Bridge, people going to work in the city this morning.
It's a beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot.
Yeah, from this angle. Looking at it from the outside.
There's the Elk Grove. They got a little high clouds over the Central Valley this morning. Walnut Grove. That's looking to the north towards Sacramento. That's part of the Delta water system down there, so kind of pretty. Mm-hmm. Boy, that reminds me of a lot of flying I used to do down there.
Oh, boy, that must take you back.
See those two towers?
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a deal down there. They, your FARs, your flight, rules, you got to look around for that kind of stuff where you can have a bad day if you fly into one of those.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I look at that and I think, that's the Delta region. There's some pretty good fishing going on somewhere. Somebody's out there having fun.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Somebody's flying and somebody's fishing.
There you go.
All right. Well, something that we all deal with in our walk with the Lord is the sin nature that is in us. And so, yes, and some people can rationalize some of the smaller sin. Well, it's just little sin. It's something that I may be managing myself. Really? Well, here is some encouragement with Johnny Erickson Tata.
You know, the most difficult, most painful surgeries that I've had are ones that go deep. The surgeon got serious with his scalpel because my physical problems were that life-threatening. And it's the same with spiritual problems. But the prophet Jeremiah says that too often we don't want to go deep. We don't see the seriousness of indwelling sin. And so we minimize it, we justify it, rationalize it, kind of like shoo it away like it's no big deal. Well, it is a big deal. And refusing to go deep, like asking forgiveness or saying no to that drug or sexual fantasy, and maybe it's not a fantasy. When you keep saying of sin, I can handle it, it's no big deal, then you become sick with the worst kind of spiritual disease. And that is, you can no longer change, even if you wanted to. So please, do not treat just the symptoms of sin. Invite the Spirit to get out the scalpel of His Word and heal the problem deeply at its root. It is the spiritually healthy thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, get out and go. I don't know what we would do in our generation if we didn't have Johnny Erickson Tata.
Yeah.
Getting up and giving us encouragement against all odds for her to be encouraging.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Pretty remarkable. God bless her. All right, good morning to you. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. Quite a few things going on out there this morning. And did you know that Jong-un from North Korea and Trump are buddies?
I've been hearing like rumors of that. Yeah?
Well, you know, they think they are.
Right.
I mean, he did cross the line and shake his hand on the other
I was
side.
thinking of that when I was reading a little bit about
Remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
First president to go
Yeah.
across that famous line. Well, anyway, the president is ordering Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to substantially reduce the upcoming joint military exercise with South Korea, saying that the drills are costly, number one, and number two, send an unnecessary hostile signal to North Korea. So I think what he's trying to do is keep North Korea calmed down a little bit. Now, you got to remember, North Korea has nukes, and this is not a good thing.
Right.
And so, but about 18,000 South Korean troops are expected to participate in this year's drills, which the U.S. and South Korea officially described as defense in nature. But the president's saying, let's kind of calm this one down a little bit and see what happens. So we'll see if he and Kim Jong-un can go gab a...
is that a good gesture on the
I don't know, go have a hamburger or something together.
Get a hamburger.
Can they meet at McDonald's and kind of work this out?
With some sriracha.
So anyway, they're slowing that one down. The other story is this almost makes you kind of go, okay, we're going from ha 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 to crazy to this is serious.
What?
Well, there's a state assemblywoman, Emily Gallagher, who's described herself as a neighborhood organizer and democratic socialist, and basically saying that the lawmaker claims that stealing for biological needs should not be illegal.
No, people are just stealing because they're short on the basics and the fundamental necessities of life. And these big, greedy corporations, what are they trying to prosecute shoplifters for? These people are only doing it because they need it.
Well, you did a better. Here, you want to finish the story? Anyway,
No,
you're absolutely right. Here's what she had to say. Take a look at this.
People who are stealing things like toothpaste, people who are stealing things like, soap. And that means if you're stealing those things, you need them. And we are choosing to protect billion-dollar companies like CVS and Walgreens over the people who are struggling to get by. So I would say that the true crime is that there is such incredible wealth disparity in this city that there are people who can be thrown in jail simply for having a biological need. And so one of the things that I'm fighting for at the state level is to make sure we pass things like treatment, not jail, and that we hold the line on the incredible criminal justice reforms that we have done over the last 10 and 20 years that are constantly being threatened by right-wing media who are looking to fearmonger about people who are actually just in absolute dire straits.
Well, think about this, though. As crazy as that is, it's gaining momentum. And it's gaining momentum from generational thinking that capitalism is the problem and free stuff is the answer.
And entitlement is the new attitude.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is growing momentum. Now, the problem with this is that the very thing that they're championing probably will go broke before they're able to get a law to fix it.
Yeah.
Because people are leaving.
Yeah.
They're leaving states and they're leaving cities.
And have you gone shopping in places like Walmart these days? Like, you can hardly take anything off the shelf anymore. They're all behind glass, locked up, because they're losing so much money.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that ups the manpower because somebody has to have the key to let you in.
Absolutely.
So
and it's frustrating.
Yeah. Well, it started off as a hurricane, ended up being downgraded. It's called Lala. Yes.
Lala.
Lala. Went after the Big Island. Well, Lala went from hurricane down to a tropical storm following upwards of 40 inches of rain in several areas, 60,000 without power, 70-mile-an-hour winds. Mostly impacted the Big Island, moved towards Maui. So we'll see. But this was a huge storm. and have some connections over there, and it was serious. And I got to remember, it was like a month ago they had earthquakes on the Big Island.
Right, yeah.
And so this is damaging in a big way. It will slow commerce down, to say the least, and it's pretty intense. Then the other one is a big storm in Indiana. The storm has left 6 people dead and up to 12 inches of rain in some of the areas there in Indiana. You can imagine, here comes Samaritan Purse and others. So, okay, folks, we got wars, we got floods, we got hurricanes, we got earthquakes. Yeah. You know, you got to kind of stop and say, okay.
Fires. We
got fires.
Yeah.
And we got more on the fires. Anyway, here's what the Governor Mike Braun from Indiana, here's what he had to say about all that.
The flooding part is something that's going to crest and get down the stream. The wind damage part of it up in the northwest is maybe something more analogous to what a hurricane would do, because it's not just a strip, you know, it's a broad area, and that's what they're dealing with up there, and that's why all the power outages were there. On the flooding side, though, it's devastating whenever it gets out of its banks, and then you're getting into the insurance issues, and of course people displaced, businesses out of business for a while. And we all empathize with them. Hearts go out to the folks that have to move out of their home where they've never had a flood issue in decades.
Decades. So we'll keep an eye on that one. That's serious. In the meantime, we have a lot of fires here, and I will cover the Oregon fires here coming up after the break. But right now there is a huge fire in Belgium, and the firefighters are battling wildfires in Belgium and in Greece. One of them is 12 square miles. Now, you got to, I don't know what they have in the way of firefighting equipment there like we may have here, but it's causing people to really run for their lives, and it's devastating, absolutely devastating. Some of it seems to be moving towards Germany. So, again, Europe is experiencing a heat wave unlike they've ever seen before. I mean, we're talking most of Europe. I mean, in Germany, they're 90+ degrees in certain parts of Germany. So this has caused great concern, obviously, there in Europe. And that's a familiar sight for us, but that's not a familiar sight for them.
True, good point.
And so they're battling that. We'll give you an update on our fires coming up in just a moment. But those are some of the top stories as we wake up on this Monday. By the way, some people are starting school today.
Yeah.
So over the next several Mondays, right up through Labor Day weekend, school is back in the swing of things.
Be careful.
Be careful.
You're driving around. Those kids are out and about.
Remember, the school zone has been reduced to 45. So.
Good luck with that.
No, it's 20, not 21.
Yeah, you got
it. Just 20. All right, we'll be right back.
Weekday mornings on the Dove, it's one of the longest running shows in broadcast history, the 700 Club. Informative, with the day's stories from a biblical perspective.
Israel finds itself fighting.
Trusted investigative reporting.
Our chief political analyst, David.
Encouraging, with uplifting stories of faith.
And then she heard a prayer.
I immediately felt the Holy Spirit.
Be encouraged and informed with the 700 Club. Weekdays at 11 on the Dove TV. Get more at thedove.us.
All right. Billionaires. Okay. My only concern about billionaires, I like them. They're nice people.
Okay.
You know, is what happened to them after they made their billion that they became liberal. And I think you had the right term. What's called wealth?
Yeah. Wealth guilt.
Wealth guilt. Okay.
Wealth guilt. Yes.
You know, otherwise it was capitalism that made them
When
billionaires.
I think especially wealth guilt comes into that next generation that it inherits daddy's money.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't do anything to get it themselves, and they're sitting on sometimes multi-millions and billions in some cases.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
All right. So California wants to tax billionaires.
Okay.
And this is a real problem. It's serious. And everybody, they can afford it. Well, okay, come on, you know. We were talking over the weekend, has the spirit of entrepreneurism in America vanished?
Well, yeah. Oh, good question. Yeah.
You know, our young men and women starting their own businesses, and most of them are not. They're not doing it, okay? But billionaires are people that had an idea or did something and started off working hard, and it just kind of grew and went, okay? They touched something, and well, like Dole, what did he do?
Yeah, Dole,
He goes over and he buys 60 acres of pineapples, and now he's world famous.
And pioneers a canning method so we can get it to the mainland.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, anyway, California wants to tax 5% billionaire tax, and I can tell you this, that this is on the ballot. A lot of people, and even the governor's now saying, well, maybe we shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
Governor Newsom, that's another interesting thing. I think he's doing himself under.
Absolutely. He's slipping and sliding. He's
he still wants to run for president, but he may be, he may not be radical enough, even though he's radical.
Right. Yeah, but he's trying to appease both sides, and you know how well that works.
Well, his radicalness is driving people from the state, and this 5% tax is one of them. And here's a spokesperson. Now, listen to this. This is a spokesperson from Texas that basically is saying the Texas Association of Businesses is saying that the high tax states in California and New York are pushing wealth, jobs, and investment to Texas. So go ahead, tax them and see where they go. Remember, Elon was your fair-haired boy. He left.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so here's what she had to say.
I will say with confidence, one thing Texas will never do is to punish you for hard work. I think that that is a tax that you will never see here in Texas. And it is very clear that people are coming here for that reason. And again, it goes back to the confidence piece that I mentioned. I mean, capital is flowing where there's confidence. And I think there is strong confidence that if you work hard and create a business and want opportunity, you will find it here, and you're not going to be taxed out of your livelihood just for putting in the hard work. So absolutely, we're seeing that flow into Texas for sure.
So let us not forget that our governor tried to push a $15 billion tax down our throat to solve a $350 million problem. Then she, in a very benevolent way, said, well, we can get by with $4.2 billion to fix a $350 million. And so goes the thing. These are people that don't know what it is to make a payroll. They don't know what it is to live under the regulations they impose on others. They have no idea what it is to do a business and suffer with these things and make them grow. And they just think other people's money is theirs to spend. And that mindset is now several generations in America. And you take it to our generation, the boomers, okay? You know what we did that ruined the economy?
What?
We inherited our parents' money after the war.
Okay.
They came back from the war, they built America, made it prosperous, they died, left us the money. We spent it instantly and then went and invented the credit card. And the credit card debt is what's killing America right now.
That's true, yeah.
And you're living off these credit cards, and that's borrowed money because we have this thing we need. We want what we want now instead of working for it. And that mentality is over into these people that want to tax the rich because what they want now instead of working for it.
Right.
So,
did you see Mark Cuban weighed in on this wealth tax thing?
Yeah, he finally. I don't really like the guy, but he was right on this one.
He's very much to the left.
Yeah.
But he weighed in on this, and he said, "Yeah, people are leaving California for good reason." He said, "I wouldn't live in California." He said, "I'm not there." He said, "But How it affects me is if I see startups that are looking for investment and they're looking for my money, so the first thing I tell them is get out of California and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, a little bit going on down there. The other thing is our own backyard, the fires. We had this Fielder fire, which was between Rogue River and Grants Pass. It's 573 acres. It's now 29% contained. They have 25 to 50 feet mop-up lines around the fire. So what they do is try to circle the fire right away and have it burned into itself. And so that one seems to be under control. But we have some really bad ones out there. The Grasshopper Fire, 90,000 acres, 47% controlled. The Wrights Spring Fire over in Klamath Falls, 53, almost 54,000 acres, 51%. So we still have a lot burning in Oregon. And it's still a tinderbox out there. And the humidity is kind of interesting because we see the cloud and you kind of go, are we going to get an afternoon thunderstorm?
Oh, boy.
So it's going to bump up a few more degrees this week. We're going to go from the mid to upper 80s into the low 90s for a couple of days and then back down. So we still have, by the way, we had 4 fire bombers outside the door here fly yesterday evening. They were going. They make 5 trips apiece.
Yeah. Oh man.
So and they're not fighting here. They're fighting over on the east side somewhere. So anyway, be careful out there, folks. Really, really be careful. Take this serious, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at the satellite image because here's what's going on. We do have some activity. So you see that swirling around?
Yeah.
That's moisture in the air with heat. What does that tell you?
Well, that could be lightning.
Yep.
Yeah. It's nice if we get rain out of it, but unfortunately this time of year what comes with it is the danger of lightning, and then we get those lightning strike fires going, and that's a problem.
I think it was Friday night we had some rain. Was it Friday night?
Oh, really? I didn't.
No.
Not my neck of the woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it rained like crazy at my house. I mean,
really?
Big drops for 25 minutes.
Yeah?
It poured.
Wow.
It was like the cloud, the only other place it was right over my house. and I'm looking out, I could look out and see across the street where it wasn't getting wet.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
You know? And I go, wow, but we enjoyed it.
I bet you did.
I got to turn my sprinkler system off for a day and let the water build up in the well, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I love doing
helps.
that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, there we go.
All right. Well, this is interesting what's in the news. Former ABC news correspondent Terry Moran talking about bias news reporting. And, of course, you know, we look at, and he was with ABC, and we look at that and we go, duh. We've known this for quite some time. And, of course, this we look at this DEI stuff that goes on, diversity, equity, inclusion. Diversity, they don't have any diversity in the newsroom, do they?
No.
And that, you know, leads to the bias. Well, he had a few things to say about it, and let's listen in.
Is ABC News a liberal institution?
Yes, but I think like a lot of mainstream media, it's because of lack of viewpoint diversity. That was one of the problems in covering Trump. Nobody had voted for him. Because I sent out these, hey, we should be fair to Trump internal emails, I heard from people, engineers, maybe the occasional producer, who said, thank you, yeah, attaboy. When there was a general consensus of, you know, a broad consensus of how politics should operate, that the one party does this, the other party does this, there are going to be good, important, strong fights about it. And then Trump says, no, we're going to have a different kind of country altogether. And it calls on each person, I think, to say, well, okay, where am I in that as a journalist? Because there is no such thing as objectivity in journalism.
Going further than that, it often has the opposite effect. It has this kind of feedback loop of like, it is the liberal media. Donald Trump is right. They are trying to manipulate me all the time, right? And I'm going to go to Fox, I'm going to go to Newsmax, I'm going to go to OAN. And does it not risk everyone becoming hyper-partisans and going to their corners where there's lefty journalism? Look, and I understand what you're saying about newspapers. It used to be in like the Colonel McCormick thing, and there used to be when you see the Springfield Democrat, there's a reason it was called that, right? They were very partisan organizations. Is that a place we want to be, though, where it's all of us people on Substack It's people making very partisan points. The news is directing you when it's also reporting things, or just, do you see what I'm saying?
Well, I didn't intend to direct anybody. I
No, I'm not
intended
saying
to
that you did,
use,
just to be
use
clear.
the
I'm not saying-
language accurately for what I was seeing and experiencing. Now, maybe it should have been in the New Yorker and not ABC News, but I would stand by it as an accurate and fair description of Stephen Miller and of Donald Trump.
But did it shake out in the right way, where now you have the opportunity to say that without fear of any censure from your corporate overlords or Disney or Bob Iger, and you can make money at it? It's a pretty great country. You can do that, right?
Well, look, I did not do this on purpose, all right, at all.
No, I'm saying, but as a consequence, it's pretty good, right?
I was already kind of, getting towards my shelf life at ABC News.
Yeah.
ABC News itself, over the past few years, and I love my career there. I've got no hard feelings at all. But you could feel it dying working there. You could feel the median age of the evening news is like 66, 67. Half the people are older than that. I mean, you can tell by the ads.
Okay, this is a huge admission.
Right.
Huge admission.
Right.
And I think the stereotyping that is going on with journalism today is working. And to me, it's just amazing, because we are living in a soundbite headline world. We don't drill down on the story.
Yeah.
Bob just warns us of that for years. But because we are Christian and we are conservative, we're already tagged as being mega Trumpers.
Yeah, true.
Okay?
Yeah.
Whether you like that or not. Now, all I have to do is criticize Trump on something that he has done that I think is wrong, and I am slam dunked. I've lost my salvation, and I'm on my way to hell. Okay? That's how narrow-minded some of this stuff is.
Yeah.
So you flip that over on the other side, and anything that is outside of the realm of liberal thinking, and especially radical liberal thinking, then you're categorized over there. So we are divided. I don't know where objectivity is.
Right. Well, there is very little out there. And Terry Moran, some people are really questioning, what are you talking about? You led the charge. You were the lead liberal. You know what? Do you remember what got him fired?
Yeah.
He posted Stephen Miller and Donald Trump are world-class haters.
Yeah.
And even they couldn't take that.
I think that he is having buyer's remorse, so to speak.
Maybe that's it, yeah.
Maybe he's having professional remorse or career's remorse. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a huge admission that he would come out and say this. And it could be a little bit of him trying to, cover up his
Right.
ills.
He's trying to...
That plays into the point. That plays into the point. Where can you go and who can you trust?
Yeah.
And most people do not drill down on the story.
Right.
And even though we don't like the headlines, news requires that you cover the headlines. And at that point, you are tagged before you even finish your sentence. That's the world we live in now.
True.
I don't know. So anyway, that's why we have, is it Pineapple Day?
It's Pineapple Day, yeah. We're going to have it in upside down cake. Yeah.
Do you just like fresh cut pineapple?
I do. Yeah, I like fresh cut fruit in general, period.
Do you have one of those pineapple things that drills down and cuts the core out?
No, I don't. I think I need one.
I have to tell you, though, it works, but it's very dangerous.
Oh, is it? Oh, great.
It's sharp as all get out.
Oh, great.
And if you slip, there goes a finger.
No, I don't have room for any more accidents in my life. Thank you very much.
You don't have any more limbs to sacrifice.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express, breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm Guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Jerry's Historical Archives. U.S. history. Great moments in time. Record breakers. Our music through the years. Archives, weekdays only on Mornings on the Dove. Pastor Jack Hibbs, championing religious liberty, a deep love of God, freedom, and America. You may have seen him in the news during COVID as he pushed back against government-mandated church closures. Now you can see him on the Dove TV every weekend on Real Life with Jack Hibbs. Learn, grow in your faith, and impact the world with authentic biblical teaching. Watch Real Life with Jack Hibbs Sundays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on the Dove TV.
All right, welcome back. 20 minutes before the hour, and the world as the stomach turns. Isn't that a soap opera?
It is. Yeah. Yes.
All right, let's check in with CBN News and get the latest.
The Trump administration says its naval blockade is taking a serious toll on Iran's economy and hurting its military and ability to finance its terrorist groups. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says even tougher measures are coming next week.
So it will be a combination of economic isolation like the world has never seen before, and the continued blockade in the Strait of Hormuz that will keep anything from going in or out of the Iranian ports.
But the battle over the Strait of Hormuz is far from settled. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the U.S. Navy can maintain the blockade as long as necessary.
Indefinitely, the United States Navy can maintain a blockade like that. This will rotate ships in and out as we have and will continue to.
President Trump says the U.S. has total control of the strategic waterway. Writing on Truth Social, "I think we will keep it." Iran disputes the idea of U.S. control, insisting the strait remains blocked until Tehran's conditions are met. And there was more violence overnight, with the United Arab Emirates accusing Iran of attacking 2 vessels belonging to Abu Dhabi's national oil company. No injuries were reported. Vice President J.D. Vance says Washington's objectives remain clear.
I think this ends with the United States in a stronger position, with Iran not having a nuclear weapon, and with the Strait of Hormuz returned to a place where oil and gas prices are stable for the American people.
Meanwhile, Israel is closely watching another front. Surveillance soldiers along the Gaza border are reportedly warning of armed terrorist activity inside the Strip, raising painful memories of warnings before October 7th that went unheeded. And in Judea and Samaria, Israeli and American officials are condemning violence by Israelis against Palestinians as Israeli security forces move against those accused of illegal actions.
We are opposed to violence. We believe that the authorities and only they should take whatever action is necessary rather than others. That is not right, and it causes immense damage.
From Iran to Gaza and Judea and Samaria, Israel and its allies are facing multiple flashpoints as Washington tries to pressure Tehran without widening the war. Joshua Swanson, CBN News, Jerusalem.
U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee has met face-to-face with President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu, and he's pushing back hard on reports of a rift. He's also sounding the alarm over rising Jew hatred and the eroding global support of Israel.
Earlier this week, I had the chance to sit down with the ambassador and get his insight on these and other topics. Here's the first part of our conversation. Ambassador Mike Huckabee, great to be with you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Chris. Great always to be with you.
Ambassador, there's been many reports of tension and a rift between Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump. You've been in the room with them. What's the story?
There's not a rift, and I have been in the room. I've been on calls, and I've been with them individually before or after the calls. There is honest conversation between two leaders who actually get along quite well. They don't agree all the time on everything. But I tell people I've been married 52 years. My wife and I don't agree on everything all the time. But it doesn't mean that our relationship is shattered by the fact that we have enough, I guess, common ground that we can be honest with each other. It's refreshing that you have two leaders who are personal enough in their relationship that they can be honest with each other. So the idea that they're mad at each other or that there's a split, I would just tell you categorically that's not true.
We're seeing an erosion of support for Israel, seeing it in the Democratic Party and the DSA. and some of the candidates that have won just in the last few days in the primaries. What's your concern about this rise of anti-Israel sentiment?
Well, first of all, it concerns me that it is just a real effort to deny a biblical connection. That's of concern to me as a believer. As a diplomat, my concern is that it is lacking context and it's lacking truth. Because for people to have this sense of Israel doesn't matter, or that it's okay to be irrationally hateful toward Jewish people, that is a concern, because there is a very important thing that Americans tend to miss, and that is that Israel and America's relationship, it's about technology and military hardware and intelligence and all those things. But more than any of that, it is about the shared values of a Judeo-Christian foundation upon which America was built. And without that foundation, there would never have been an America.
And this anti-Semitism, Jew hatred, has risen exponentially since October 7th.
Yeah.
What is your concern for the Jewish people in America and around the world? And how should evangelicals stand with Israel and the Jewish people right now?
Sure. I think it's the greatest anxiety that Jewish people should have right now, is that everything that they thought would never happen again, and the cry after the Holocaust was never again. And here we are. We're seeing it again. And it's almost the same pattern. And the word anti-Semitic, I know we use it a lot. I've decided not to use it as much because I think people are numb to it, and it just becomes this nebulous term. They really don't know what that means. So I just use the term it's Jew hatred, as you just did, because I feel like that's really what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, a byproduct of headline news.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's check out the weather, which is an interesting little task for a Monday morning.
Here's a look at today's weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, mostly sunny skies with highs in the low 80s for Vancouver and Portland. Wilsonville and McMinnville warm into the mid to upper 80s this afternoon. Through the Willamette Valley, partly sunny skies continue with Salem and Albany reaching the mid 80s. Corvallis tops out near 85 with decreasing clouds, while Eugene stays mostly cloudy with a high near 86. Central Oregon sees patchy smoke through the day with Prineville reaching 89. Bend and Sun River both top out near 85, while Boise turns hot with sunshine and an afternoon high near 95. Along the Oregon coast, mostly sunny skies bring a high of 75 in Coos Bay, while Port Orford stays partly sunny near 68. Brookings sees decreasing clouds near 56, and Crescent City starts with areas of fog before becoming mostly cloudy near 61. Across southern Oregon, gradual clearing develops in Grants Pass with highs near 93. Medford reaches 94 with decreasing clouds. Ashland tops out near 90, and Klamath Falls also sees decreasing clouds with a high near 86. In Northern California, partly sunny skies bring Wairika to 86, while Redding turns hot near 96. Chico stays mostly sunny with a high near 94, and Fort Bragg sees decreasing clouds with a high near 60. Around the Bay Area, patchy fog gives way to mostly sunny skies and 77 in Santa Rosa. Napa stays mostly sunny near 78. San Francisco is partly sunny near 67. And San Jose starts with patchy fog before sunshine and 81. For Central California, mostly sunny conditions continue with Sacramento near 91 and Stockton Modesto becoming sunny near 90. Fresno Visalia reached 97 and Bakersfield climbs to 98 under mostly sunny skies. And that's a look at your Monday weather from Grange Co-op.
We are looking back at an amazing record that was set on this day in history. Elvis Presley was one of the best-selling recording artists of all time. But on this day in 1977, the day after his death, the King set a very different kind of record. FTD, the nationwide flower delivery service, received so many orders from Elvis fans that 3,116 floral arrangements were delivered in connection with his death, a single-day U.S. record that remains unmatched for a celebrity. Memphis florists quickly ran out of flowers, forcing additional shipments to be brought in from other parts of the country. The arrangements weren't just bouquets. Some were shaped like guitars, musical notes, lightning bolts, and even hound dogs. And when Elvis was laid to rest the next day, thousands of mourners lined Elvis Presley Boulevard while the cemetery was described as a sea of flowers. For a man known as the King of Rock and Roll, it was a remarkable final measure of his popularity. Even in death, Elvis was still breaking records.
How about that?
Wow.
Flower record.
All right. Yeah. One other quick thing is, back to Colombia, which had an earthquake. Well, Samaritan's Purse is there, and a little bit, they're asking for prayer.
Today we are preparing our Boeing 767 to head down to Colombia, where we're taking relief supplies for the earthquake that they recently had. First of all, I would ask for you to pray for the people of Colombia as they recover from this devastating earthquake. As we head down, we would ask for safe travel there and back, but more importantly, that the cargo that we're carrying, the relief supplies that are on this aircraft, get into exactly the hands of who God wants them to get into so that they can help them and so that they can see the help and hope in Jesus' name.
And they're quick.
God bless Samaritan's Purse. All right, we'll be right back.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare. Your loved one can spend the day with us, and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living, your home.
He's got the whole world in his hands, and he knows the plans for us. Above and beyond we could ask or imagine, his grace is more than enough. It's in his hands, it's in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Come on, Steve.
Most people have no idea what their money is funding. That's why it's so important to know who you're investing in and what they stand for. At Financial Issues, we help Christians invest with biblical values. Our daily live broadcast covers the economy, markets, and even politics through a financial lens grounded in a biblical worldview. Watch Financial Issues daily at 5 p.m. Pacific Time right here on the Dove.
Welcome back. 8 minutes before the hour. Well, we're kind of heading into a campaign season. I guess it's going to be pretty noisy between now and November.
Yeah.
But this is an interesting report on Fox Report. Former Maryland congressional candidate Joel Rubin explained why a candidate in Alaska, Democrat, doesn't want Kamala Harris's endorsement.
Oh, gosh. All right.
It gets interesting. Here it is.
For Democrats, if we want to take back the Senate, we need to have wins in places like Alaska. And so for the former vice president to get in the middle of it, if she really wants to help, she needs to stay out. And I think she should have read the room. She should have spoken to the Peltola people ahead of time, asked if they wanted her support. Mary Peltola, it turns out, of course, didn't even endorse her in 2024. And so it wouldn't have been a surprise if she had said no. And I find it very disappointing that the Harris team nonetheless decided to do this just before the election on Tuesday. And not only that, they're also raising in a manner where they get half of the revenue for themselves. So sort of asking for money without permission from the star, the candidate. It really is unseemly, and I really wish she hadn't done it. Yeah, our brand is not doing very well right now. I can say nothing but the truth on this, and I don't think any Democrat can, with a straight face, tell you that they're happy about the public positioning of the Democratic brand. That said, there's some really strong candidates and really strong policy positions that they're advocating for. And I think that's where you see a candidate like Mary Peltola, you see up in Maine, you see in different parts of the country candidates running on their own bona fides and their own argument that they will represent their people. Running on the brand of the Democrats right now, it's a hard sell alone. The party is in a lot of flux. We have a lot of issues to iron out internally. So for these candidates, it should be, and they are making it about themselves if they want to be effective in these midterms.
Oh, boy.
Well, okay.
Yeah, well.
I look, she doesn't have any shirt tail power.
Right.
And he gave it away there. If they endorse him, do they get some of the money?
Oh, yes. There you go. There you go.
How crazy is this stuff?
Is Kamala going to run again?
Well, you know.
Huh?
She most likely will.
Okay.
She'll laugh her way into something.
Okay.
We're going to do this?
Yeah, we're going to do it.
Go.
Oh, yeah, let's go. All right. Well, you know, sometimes seeing a problem is all it takes to inspire someone to be part of the solution.
That is exactly what happened when Mark Waters noticed women and young children walking alongside a busy road and waiting for a bus in grass that was taller than some of the kids.
I was going to work and I saw all the little children with the women walking on this major road right here, and the grass as tall as they are, definitely taller than the kids. And then they walked over here and was standing at the bus stop in the high grass with cars still flying by them. And there's just no way, as a man, I could let that happen.
It's a powerful reminder that making a difference doesn't always require a big organization or a complicated plan. Sometimes it starts with one person seeing something that isn't right and deciding to do something about it.
There you go. Do the right thing.
All right, take with you today James chapter 1, Brother Jesus, verses 2 and 3. Count it all joy, my brothers, sisters, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. You learn that one by the hard way.
Yeah.
There's a little commute for you.
Your property demands equipment with more reliability, durability, and versatility built in. Kubota equipment is ready to get the job done right.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests, or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from theDove TV.
Orthodox Christianity has existed for 2,000 years. Yet many people know very little about its history, its worship, or the ancient Christian faith it preserves. Hi, I'm Paulina Leiser. Join me each week as we explore the beauty and depth of this historic Christian tradition and its place in the modern world.
Don't miss The Ancient Church, conversations about Orthodox Christianity, Sundays at 6 p.m. on theDove TV. They travel across America to give an answer for questions, doubts, and challenges concerning faith.
The Gospels are historically reliable.
Their mission, present truth, faith, and help people find purpose.
Not based on blind faith.
Join them as they strive to make a lasting impact on lives and hearts for Christ.
They're either all wrong or one of them's right. I got to go to the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Don't miss Give Me an Answer, weekdays at 3 on the Dove TV. Unchanging truth in an ever-changing world. Turning Point with Dr. David Jeremiah. Wednesdays on the Dove TV, encouraging and informative. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative. Helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Monday. Back at it. New week, new day.
Yeah.
And Jerry.
Yeah, to boot.
There we go.
Literally.
There we are. We're both here this morning, and bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, coming out of an active weekend. Jerry was taken out by 336 water balloons over the weekend.
We did that water balloon story just over a week ago with that random water balloon fight down in a park in New York City, Union Square. And I thought, you know what? We got this special little party coming up with the grandkids. We need water balloons. So we had them, and it was quite a fight.
Quite a fight, huh?
Everybody got wet, including Grandma. Really? Just a little bit. You got to be careful around Grandma. But it was good.
Well, that's great stuff. Good morning to you. A lot in the news. Wow. It's Monday. Of course, a lot going on. We've got to do our best to get you caught up. Weather-wise, we may bump back up a few degrees, back into the very warm categories, upper 80s, low 90s for a couple of days before we go back down again.
Yeah.
So that's kind of going on. Anything special?
Well, first of all, it is National I Love My Feet Day. Today to show appreciation for your feet and how valuable they really are. Practicing good foot care and pamper our feet, because after all, our feet are our primary source of transportation.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Get you in and out of all the important places you got to go and get your foodstuffs, but take care of those feet. Take care of the dogs.
Take care of the dogs.
Yeah. National Nonprofit Day, recognizing the goals and positive impacts that nonprofits have on communities around the world, which dovetails into our next one, which is National Thrift Shop Day, because a lot of thrift shops are nonprofits. Yep, and you can get a lot of great bargains at some of these thrift shops, and get in there and go shopping. And you know, one of the other things too is it's kind of a form of recycling.
Yeah.
You know, why throw it out? Why put it in a landfill if somebody else can use it?
Well, moreover, clean your own closet out. Come on.
Oh, come on. I hear that enough already.
What
are you talking about?
Come on. You know what? Your kids don't want it.
That is true.
They could care less about your high school shirt.
That's right.
Or the flip-flops that you bought in Hawaii 50 years ago. They don't care about it. No, I would say really, I think part of this, when you look at, say, Salvation Armies, you got St. Vincent de Paul, you got Goodwill.
Yeah.
These organizations really do well, and moreover, the people that they serve are people that really need it. So anyway, I would say you don't need to hoard 40 shirts.
Right. Absolutely. You know what we do when we clean out?
You're welcome, Pam.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
We make two piles. One pile's going to Goodwill.
Yeah.
The other pile's going to the dump.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean the dump runs are fun too, but that's the stuff that can't be resold at Goodwill or at St. Vincent de Paul.
Well, drop it off. They can use it.
Yes, absolutely. It's also National Massachusetts Day.
Massachusetts.
Recognizing the first New England colony and the 6th state to join the Union. They've moved a little bit to the left, though, haven't they?
Have they lost their soul?
I think they have, especially with what they were celebrating the other day. I mean, it is just crazy, period.
Here's the hard part about it. Did you know that the Scripture actually tells God's people, this is a command, to hate evil?
Yes, that's true. Yes.
Now, that flies in the face that God loves everybody.
Right, exactly.
And that flies in the face that you should be witnessing to everybody. But when you come front to front with evil, you are to hate it.
Right, right.
And we don't talk about that very much.
I know, but there is some evil that's coming out of there, boy. Oh, man.
Well, they can kill a baby at birth.
At birth, right. Absolutely.
That's evil.
Yes. Makes you want to have a swig of pineapple juice.
Ooh.
And that's what we got. The only consumable we have today is National Pineapple Juice Day, a tropical mix that delivers a refreshing boost of hydration and vitamin C. And one sip of pineapple juice instantly transports your taste buds to the tropics. And of course, a lot of it comes from Dole.
Oh.
Yeah, and Hawaii.
And the Dole story is?
And the Dole story, basically, he moved to Hawaii in 1899 with $1,000 and a Harvard degree, and he loved farming, and he began growing pineapples on his newly purchased 60-acre pineapple plantation. Quickly realized he had a sweet opportunity in front of him, and the only thing he had to do was get it to the mainland. So he was involved in pioneering an early, very effective way of canning it. And we see all that Dole canned pineapple. And the rest, as they say, is pineapple history.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have an update on Hawaii. It got hit with a big storm. We'll talk about that coming up in a few moments. In the meantime, what's our own backyard weather? Well, let's check in with Alfred and find out.
Here's a look at today's weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, mostly sunny skies with highs in the low 80s for Vancouver and Portland. Wilsonville and McMinnville warm into the mid to upper 80s this afternoon. Through the Willamette Valley, partly sunny skies continue with Salem and Albany reaching the mid 80s. Corvallis tops out near 85 with decreasing clouds, while Eugene stays mostly cloudy with a high near 86. Central Oregon sees patchy smoke through the day with Prineville reaching 89. Bend and Sun River both top out near 85, while Boise turns hot with sunshine and an afternoon high near 95. Along the Oregon coast, mostly sunny skies bring a high of 75 in Coos Bay, while Port Orford stays partly sunny near 68. Brookings sees decreasing clouds near 56, and Crescent City starts with areas of fog before becoming mostly cloudy near 61. Across southern Oregon, gradual clearing develops in Grants Pass with highs near 93. Medford reaches 94 with decreasing clouds. Ashland tops out near 90, and Klamath Falls also sees decreasing clouds with a high near 86. In Northern California, partly sunny skies bring Wairika to 86, while Redding turns hot near 96. Chico stays mostly sunny with a high near 94, and Fort Bragg sees decreasing clouds with a high near 60. Around the Bay Area, patchy fog gives way to mostly sunny skies and 77 in Santa Rosa. Napa stays mostly sunny near 78. San Francisco is partly sunny near 67. And San Jose starts with patchy fog before sunshine and 81. For Central California, mostly sunny conditions continue with Sacramento near 91 and Stockton Modesto becoming sunny near 90. Fresno Visalia reached 97 and Bakersfield climbs to 98 under mostly sunny skies. And that's a look at your Monday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, there's an interesting shot. That's from the east side of the valley. There, let's see, is that Roxanne? Could be. Anyway, that's looking kind of west to southwest.
Is that smoke or is that a marine layer?
That is smoke.
Okay.
You can see the marine layer above it. See the little blue sky between the two?
Yeah.
So no ships, well, I don't see any boats going by, but there's a little bit of smoke over the valley this morning. We'll tell you why coming up here in a minute.
Well, we know that sin can entice, but here with some great encouragement is Johnny Erickson Tata.
The other day, Ken Tata caught me looking at a very silly YouTube video. I mean, it wasn't, sinful. It was just really stupid. And that means it wasn't edifying. It was not a worthwhile use of my time. And when he gave me this really odd, surprised look, like, what? I was embarrassed. And I was embarrassed because he uncovered my foolishness. And I felt exposed. And although that video was not that big of a deal, it showed an important principle. None of us likes to be exposed when we choose empty, foolish, silly things. Oh, we'll rationalize them, maybe shift the blame, defend, try to explain away our actions, but at the core of our flesh, we are all posers. That's what the flesh does. Sin will always entice us toward mundane, low-life living. But the grace of God always forgives, always illuminates foolhardy ways, always reminds us, Johnny, that's not for you. This just won't satisfy you. There's a much better path, the Holy Spirit will say. So today, thank God for Jesus, the light of the world, who always exposes that brighter and better way.
Oh, Johnny, what an inspiration. Yep. All right, good stuff. 9 minutes past the hour. Let's take a look at some of the top stories today. And first of all, whoever thought North Korea would be back in the news? But apparently, as you know, South Korea and the United States, they do joint military, exercises. And the president told Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to substantially reduce the upcoming joint military exercises with South Korea, saying that the drills, A, cost too much, and B, sends an unnecessarily hostile signal to North Korea, of which he feels that he and Kim Jong-un are buds.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
Right.
But about 18,000 South Korean troops are expected to participate in this year's drills, with the United States and South Korea officially describing them as defensive in nature. So we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, if you just think that the world has gone crazy, here's evidence of it. And that is a state assemblywoman, Emily Gallagher. Now, she is in New York. She's quite a gal. And if you think New York is losing it, here is evidence they have, because she believes that stealing, shoplifting for biological needs should be legal. Here's her comments.
People who are stealing things like toothpaste, people who are stealing things like, soap. And that means if you're stealing those things, you need them. Right. And we are choosing to protect billion-dollar companies like CVS and Walgreens over the people who are struggling to get by. So I would say that the true crime is that there is such incredible wealth disparity in this city that there are people who can be thrown in jail simply for having a biological need. And so one of the things that I'm fighting for at the state level is to make sure we pass things like treatment, not jail, and that we hold the line on the incredible criminal justice reforms that we have done over the last 10 and 20 years that are constantly being threatened by right-wing media who are looking to fearmonger about people who are actually just in absolute dire straits.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
Leave it to right-wing media to point out the difference between right and wrong. How about that?
Well, look, it's going from being kind of laughing to, oh, well, gee, they're electing people. They got Mondani, and then you got a person like this.
Right.
You're going to watch a beautiful city just fall apart.
But
it's already doing it.
Even those on the left who are just pulling away from this kind of rhetoric.
This is crazy.
And then what happens is you see some of these, stores and like Walgreens and other places that are in inner cities, and their margins are not that large anyway, and they can't afford the kind of theft and loss that they do, and they close the store because it's not profitable. And then the left screams things like, racism.
Well, think about the track that they're on. You got the left now, these crazy people with this crazy rhetoric. They're getting elected. Okay.
Yeah.
People will leave.
Right.
Those who can afford will leave.
Yes.
So who's left? What's left is the left, who continues to elect more left, which compounds the problem. Sooner or later, the whole thing's bankrupt.
Yep, exactly.
And that's the road that New York is going. It's sad to see this. It really is. Can it recover itself? And will there be another Wall Street in Texas? They're already looking at their own exchange system and saying goodbye to Wall Street in New York.
Yes. Yeah.
Crazy. All right, over the weekend, a big storm. They called it Lala. It was Hurricane Lala has now been downgraded to a tropical storm following upwards of 40 inches of rain in several areas. 60,000 people on the Big Island without power. They had winds up to 70 miles an hour and impacted primarily the Big Island and heading towards Maui. It is fading a little bit, but this was horrific. And you talk about pineapples and everything else got damaged on this. And this island is now, this is twice now. It was hit with earthquakes about a month ago. It did a lot of damage. You got the volcano down there that continues to do a lot of huffing and puffing. Yeah. And then here comes a hurricane. So this is not good. And one person has been reportedly killed from this. And those are reports as of late last night. So we'll have to wait and see how the rest of it goes. Okay. In the meantime, Indiana had a huge storm. And this was really an amazing storm. 12 inches of rain in some areas. 6 now have been killed or has died as a result of this storm. Flooding in areas that never for decades would see water on their street, let alone taking out their houses. And Governor Mike Braun responds.
The flooding part is something that's going to crest and get down the stream. The wind damage part of it up in the northwest is maybe something more analogous to what a hurricane would do, because it's not just a strip, it's a broad area, and that's what they're dealing with up there, and that's why all the power outages were there. On the flooding side, though, it's devastating whenever it gets out of its banks, and then you're getting into the insurance issues, and of course people displaced, businesses out of business for a while. And we all empathize with them. Hearts go out to the folks that have to move out of their home where they've never had a flood issue in decades.
Gosh.
So let's see, earthquakes, tornadoes, we got hurricanes, we got floods, we got fires,
we got wars.
We got wars. Sounds pretty biblical to me.
Boy, I'll say.
Have you shifted your attention from the anger of the headlines to seeking God? Speaking of fires, Belgium, huge fire. Now, this is in Europe. Europe has been experiencing a heat wave, and now they got high, dry. Now, these scenes somewhat, I say normal. We're used to seeing this. We don't like it, but we see it here in the West. But this is in Belgium, and they got emergency crews responding everywhere. This is a 12-square-mile burning in Belgium, and even heading towards Greece. Is it Greece? Yeah. And anyways, some really serious problems with this one is it spreads through Europe. And the only thing I can say is we're used to seeing this. They're not.
Yeah.
And
do they fight wildfires the same way we do here?
I don't know that.
Do they have the same kind of assets?
I don't know what they got. They are not used to this. This is not them. And they have a problem, and that is that they are seeing a heat wave, which we know that. Here's some people from Germany, 90 to 93, 95 degrees in Germany, which is, they're not prepared for that. They don't have air conditioners over there, like we do. So they have about 250 emergency personnel and crew trying to fight this fire, but the problem is the same problem we have with our fires. It's called wind.
Wind. And speaking of our fires, the Fielder Mountain Fire. They've got that knocked down pretty good, don't they?
Yeah, I'll give you a report on that. But it took off, and they got I got a number here since you brought it up. The number is 29%.
Oh,
contained.
Okay, all right.
So what they've done is they've reached a 300-foot mop-up, which is kind of like where it's 25 to 50 feet of mop-up in the interior, and then they create a mop-up line around it so that it burns into itself. But they're making pretty good progress, but it's still 573 acres.
Okay.
By the way, that all started from a truck blowout tire.
Is that what it was? I didn't hear that. No.
We went to Grants Pass on Saturday. As we drove by, you can see right where it started on the freeway.
No kidding.
Where the truck blew its tire. And of course, that one must have been hot.
Yeah. Right.
It hit the side, and the way it went.
Oh, my
It was windy.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
All right, so those are some of the top stories. We'll take a quick pineapple break. We'll be right back.
To God be the glory, great things He hath done.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Lizer with Lizer Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare. Your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living, your home.
The Dove TV is pleased to announce we're now seen in the Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto area via a new full-power TV station, KEDS, seen on cable, satellite TV, and over the air. The Dove TV, encouraging and informative for the Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto area on new full-power KEDS TV.
Okay, welcome back. A little bit of some backyard news. As you know, we're heading towards all kinds of things on the ballots these days, and California has this ballot where they want to charge 5% billionaire tax.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And apparently this is getting great. And all of a sudden, the governor decides this is pretty embarrassing, so he's kind of backing away from it. When at the end of the day, he was pushing it. He's got a lot of legal problems. You know, he and his wife are under federal investigation.
Yeah, I know. She's under...
yeah, so he's got a lot of problems. Right. It'd be interesting to see if he's able to shake all this off and still be an emerging candidate for president. We'll see. Well, in the meantime, California is threatening to tax billionaires. And I can tell you right here at the airport and talking to some people that are in somewhat that category have moved a lot of their assets here just to get it out of the state, because there's a retroactive date on this thing.
Yes.
And if your assets are sitting on the ground as a certain date, it can be taxed. Right. So they're moving their fixed assets out, what they can. I mean, you can't pick up a building, but if you've got equipment and airplanes and things like that.
Exactly.
Anyway, so a spokesperson from the Texas you gotta laugh at this. The Texas Association of Business says high taxes in states like California and New York are pushing wealth, jobs, and investment towards Texas, and they're cashing in. And here's what she had to say.
I will say with confidence, one thing Texas will never do is to punish you for hard work. I think that that is a tax that you will never see here in Texas. And it is very clear that people are coming here for that reason. And again, it goes back to the confidence piece that I mentioned. I mean, capital is flowing where there's confidence. And I think there is strong confidence that if you work hard and create a business and want opportunity, you will find it here, and you're not going to be taxed out of your livelihood just for putting in the hard work. So absolutely, we're seeing that flow into Texas for sure.
Yeah, so Texas is benefiting, Nevada's benefiting, Idaho's benefiting.
Yeah. And
you know,
even Mark Cuban, and he is no conservative, is speaking out about this, saying this is lunacy. Yeah. And he talks about the fact that it really doesn't affect him because he doesn't live in California. He's not going to California. He's not going to be running his businesses from there. But he said, if I am going to invest in a company, and obviously he does, he says, and if it's a company that's in California, the first thing I tell them before they even think about getting my money is get out of California.
Yeah, I mean, look, Elon said goodbye.
Yeah.
Silicon Valley, you know, you don't hear much about it, but Silicon Valley is getting out of California by opening up branch offices in other states.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Nike's doing. That's what, Google's doing. They just happen to open up other offices in other states, and they lower this one and bring up the activity in the other one. So it's just it's just crazy. Yeah. All right, a little bit again, backyard news. To give you an update, the Fielder Mountain Fire, which is between Rogue River and Grass Pass, got everybody pretty much uptight, obviously. It took off. It was caused by a blown tire off of a truck, and it took off. It's 573 acres. There's the first day it took off, everybody was worried, and there was evacuation notices and everything. They seem to be getting a pretty good handle on it. It's 29% contained, 573 acres. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is, because it's in very steep terrain. And at one time they had a lot of aircraft on it, but they are building the lines around it, the 300-foot mop-up line, which is 25 to 50 feet of mop-up in the interior of the fire. So I don't understand wildfire fighting science. I should talk to somebody to learn more about that. But you get a pretty good feel that they got that one going. But Oregon's still plagued with real problems. The Grasshopper Fire is 90,000 acres, 47% contained. And the big one just east of us here, which is northeast of Klamath Lake, the Wrights Spring Fire, 54,000 acres, 51% contained. We have 4 bombers outside our door here. They were flying pretty active last night. Both DC-10s were coming and going.
No kidding. Oh.
Yeah, so they're pretty busy out there, so be careful. All right, let's take a look at Wall Street for a Monday morning. All right, thank you, Preston, over there at Smart Lawn. I don't know why they call it lawn. It ain't that. Well, it is. Yeah. Fictitious. The Dow's down 187, 188. The NAS is up 8, and the S&P down 13. So kind of 2 on the brake, 1 on the gas this morning, opening of the bell. So we'll see a lot going on that makes that very emotional. Gold's back up a few pennies, 44.60. Silver's back up to 65 3/4. And crude oil back up, almost $1, 88, almost $89 a barrel. So below 90, which we're thankful for. But
yeah, it's interesting how you got to pay attention to these things to figure out when you're going to fill up.
There you go.
Oh, well. Hey, so coming up, good morning, Mom. We got a trip coming up to go down to Central California.
Hi, Mom.
And visit her.
Mom.
And, of course, you know, that.
Mom, you did good to a point.
To a point.
Okay.
Yeah, she's shaking her head right now. She's going, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Barry.
I know. When he left home, it fell apart, Mom. I'm sorry. But we're trying best. Between Pam and I, we got a handle on it, Mom. Hang in there.
Yeah, she's praying for Pam. But anyway, you know what that allows us to do when we go down and see my mom is, you know, we drive down through the central San Joaquin Valley, and we get to see that high-speed rail system.
Oh, yeah.
To nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, just you look at this structure. It's down by Fresno that we see it, north side and south side, and it looks like this huge, it kind of is reminiscent of the Roman aqueduct system. It's amazing. First time I saw it, I was just bewildered. But with that in mind, California Congressman Vince Fong spoke with Fox Business's Bottom Line about waste and fraud concerning that very high-speed rail system and Gavin Newsom's knowledge that it would fail.
If a private company had done this and obscured facts and hid information from lawmakers, they'd probably be in jail. Gavin Newsom can't run a railroad, but he wants to run for president. So, I mean, this is crazy. I mean, Californians were promised a completed system by 2020 for $33 billion. We're in 2026, no trains, no usable track, $231 billion, as you mentioned before. The state of California is going to waste $1 billion every single year now until this thing is quote unquote completed, but it's not going to be finished in our lifetime, and I don't think it ever will be. Well, I was on the transportation committee when I was in the state legislature. If you read every business model, every business plan, every audit, I mean, the warning signs were there. Structural mismanagement, cost overruns, the ridership numbers were never real. If you listen to Gavin Newsom's first State of the State address as governor, I mean, he agreed with us. He warned that this train was a train wreck and that we should pivot away from it. Something happened as he decided to move on after his first term, and he embraced this project, maybe because of his friends and just the cronyism that exists in Sacramento. but we have to prioritize the taxpayer. President Trump was right. He stopped the $4 billion that was supposed to go to this nightmare. I mean, this project goes through my district. I mean, I watched this project tear communities apart, destroy farmland. We have pillars that we call them monuments to mismanagement. Stonehenges to Gavin Newsom.
Well, look, could they unwind it?
I don't know. I never thought.
They ought to seriously look at this. Right. He makes a couple of comments there. It divided communities.
Yeah.
It took out valuable farmland.
Absolutely.
These people in California that don't understand the value of the Central Valley farmland, to put this rail system down through there is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
And here's the other thing is, what are you really saving when you got airliners and electric airline commuter planes coming online that you can't go from one town to the other? Probably less now than that rail ticket will cost you. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a losing proposition. Could it be returned back? Instead of spending $1 billion a year hoping that somehow it gets down the road, why don't we just spend a couple of billion and take it out?
Yeah, and you know, we look at the new wave of socialists and communists on the left coming up saying government's the answer, government can do it all better. And he made a great point. He says if this was a private company that's doing this, people would be in jail.
Well, it's true. And here's the other thing is that the only way this stupid thing can survive is continually tax the people and the farmland.
Yes. Yes.
It will not sustain itself. Right. He points out there, and look, I'm no genius, and I look at things fast, but I have seen enough on this to know, and he made the point so well clear. There isn't a business model out there that sustains this thing.
Right. Yeah, if it was viable, it wouldn't be sitting as a shell of itself.
It's not.
Right?
I don't know how you're hanging on Governor Newsom's beak when he runs for governor.
Exactly.
But in the meantime, the citizens have had the load of this nonsense. It's taken out farmlands. It's divided communities. It probably employed a lot of people for a while, and then all of a sudden it stops. I mean, the whole thing is just a mess. Could you unwind this thing? Or can you just turn that into freeway or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
Yeah.
Take 99 and, you know...
Yeah. Well, actually, 99 is serving its purpose. It would be just kind of foolhardy to look... Yeah. Those things.
Well, you got I-5 and 99, you know.
Yes.
I've landed on a lot of parts of I-5 down around Bakersfield years ago. Yeah. Can't do that now. Okay, but you go down around Visay and Bakersfield, and you got this twisted bunch of concrete in the sky going nowhere. Yeah. You got to ask yourself, you know.
Yeah. What is it? It's like, what is it?
You know. Anyway, all right, so much for all that. Pineapples solve a lot of things, and we're going to go have some... Boy, you just got my mouth watering.
Hey, pineapple's a good thing. Very tropical, very hydrating.
All right.
High in vitamin C. Yes.
All right, we'll be right back.
Rock I stand on and around it, sinking sand.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your yard is where life happens, but it can be muddy and hard to maintain. Enjoy a maintenance-free artificial turf lawn all year round with Smart Lawn LLC. No mowing, no fertilizing, no watering. Our synthetic grass is beautiful and resilient. It's certified to be lead-free, and there's no need for pesticides. Safe for your children and pets. Smart Lawn LLC has all your artificial turf and putting green areas covered beautifully. 541-941-3538.
There may have never been another time in history when end times prophecy has been more aligned with the culture and circumstances of the world than it is today. I believe there are 10 phenomena we are witnessing today that were recorded centuries ago in Bible prophecy.
Join Dr. David Jeremiah in his series, Where Do We Go From Here? On the next episode of Turning Point, right here on this station.
Weekends on the Dove TV. Pastor Jack Hibbs, championing religious liberty, a deep love of God, freedom, and America. You may have seen him in the news during COVID as he pushed back against government-mandated church closures. Now you can see him on the Dove TV every weekend on Real Life with Jack Hibbs. Learn, grow in your faith, and impact the world with authentic biblical teaching. Watch Real Life with Jack Hibbs Sundays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on the Dove TV.
Okay, welcome back. The Middle East continues to dominate a lot of headlines, and obviously, the question is now, distrust over disarmament?
Oh, yeah.
How do you balance those two things? Well, let's check in with our friends at CBN News, and Paul Petit will kind of help us out.
Jared Kushner is in Israel, hoping to persuade Prime Minister Netanyahu after holding rare talks in Egypt with Hamas's chief and regional mediators. Hamas says it will disarm under the U.S.-backed Board of Peace plan, but only if Israel commits to the agreement. Netanyahu insists Israel will not withdraw from Gaza until Hamas disarms. The dispute is also putting Israel at odds with other countries in the region. Foreign ministers from 8 Muslim countries are accusing Netanyahu of obstructing the peace process. Meanwhile, another diplomatic clock is running out as the 60-day ceasefire agreed to in the Memorandum of Understanding between the U.S. and Iran expires, with no talks underway to extend it. The Wall Street Journal reports that both Iran and the U.S. are using the pause to buy time for larger attacks. The threat comes as rhetoric is increasing from Tehran. The Iranian military chief is reportedly offering a $30,000 reward for any American soldier killed or captured. Double that amount if it's carried out by an Iranian woman. The threat comes as President Trump says the U.S. is increasingly in control of the Strait of Hormuz.
And after we finish defeating Iran, which is being very badly defeated, pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States. Essentially, that's what it is. We have the blockade. No ships get through unless we want them to.
Trump added that the oil prices, driven up by the conflict, will eventually come down. He's asking Americans to accept the higher costs for now in exchange for national security.
So, for you to pay a tiny little bit more for your gasoline, just remember, you're doing it so that a very evil country cannot have... A country, really, it's the #1 state sponsor of terror in the world. We don't want to have them have a nuclear weapon.
Retired Army General Jack Keane says Trump is being cautious with Iran as the midterms approach, but prefers a more direct strategy.
I'm not the political guy here, but it seemed to me just common sense. That would sort of help you in the election to have Iran on its knees, truly. And I'm not talking about having economic peril on them. I'm talking about taking everything away that they value.
In the Arabian Sea, CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper visited the USS Abraham Lincoln, now heading home after a record-long 9-month deployment. The carrier has been at sea more than 260 days, raising concerns of mental health and morale issues. In a statement, Admiral Cooper said, "History will record this deployment as one of the most operationally intense and consequential of the modern era." The USS George Washington is now sailing from the Western Pacific to take its place. And in a first, the Jerusalem Post reports Jewish men were allowed to pray from a Jewish prayer book at the Temple Mount Sunday. The move marks another shift in the long-standing status quo, which strictly prohibits non-Muslim prayer at the holy site.
And Paul Petit is joining us now with more. So, Paul, the 60-day ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran has expired. What happens from here with no new talks on the agenda, at least for now?
Yeah, that's a great question, Ephraim. Wall Street Journal report says that Tehran has been ramping up missile and drone production during this window to expand the war. The report says that the Revolutionary Guard is also preparing its proxies for the possibility of a wider conflict here. Now, it's been reported that the U.S. also needs to restock certain munitions, so the time here is very valuable. So the question remains now is whether the end of the 60-day window becomes a trigger for renewed escalation. Lincoln. There's no automatic return to full-scale war, but there's also no new agreement providing a diplomatic off-ramp. Ephraim?
The extended deployment of the USS Abraham Lincoln has turned into a political hot potato. As you mentioned in your story, it's now on its way home. What else can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this has become more, much more, I should say, than a question of where an aircraft carrier is deployed. The Lincoln has been gone for more than 250 days now, including more than 200 consecutive days without a port call. And families and lawmakers have raised serious questions about conditions and the mental health of the crew. Now, as you heard, CENTCOM Commander there, Brad Cooper, went aboard, praised the crew. According to Reuters, he also pushed back against some of the concerns, saying the Lincoln has the lowest rate of mental health cases among the Navy's 11 carriers. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has also disputed reports describing deteriorating conditions aboard that ship. Back to you.
Let's talk now about Israel and Hamas's U.S. envoy Jared Kushner. He's meeting with Netanyahu today. Walk us through the prime minister's main striking points of the Gaza peace plan.
Yeah, this meeting is happening as we speak. From the fundamental disagreement is over sequencing. Netanyahu says Hamas must completely disarm before Israel pulls back. The U.S.-backed plan envisions an initial Israeli withdrawal as part of the process leading up to the disarmament. So you see where the pickle is here. Hamas is now saying it's prepared to begin disarming, but only after Netanyahu publicly commits Israel to the plan. So the question is, essentially, who moves first? Cat and the mouse, right? Now, given the October 7 massacre, Israeli security officials have also expressed skepticism about whether Hamas really intends to give up its weapons. And that's why today's meeting is so important. Ephraim is bringing what, we heard from Hamas and all that all together, and we'll find out what happens later on today.
Well, I don't mean to chuckle. It's somewhat amusing that we're talking as if anything that is Iran-sponsored has been carried out.
Right. Yeah.
Not one peace talk,
right.
Not one agreement, not one we'll do this, you do that.
Right.
And somehow we think the next time it's going to be different.
It's going to be credible, I'm sure, right? Not.
It's kind of like pushing socialism on America. Well, it didn't work anywhere else in the world, but America's different. It's going to work here.
We're going to do it different.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Yeah. All right, so much for that. Let's take a look at the weather for you today.
Here's a look at today's weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, mostly sunny skies with highs in the low 80s for Vancouver and Portland. Wilsonville and McMinnville warm into the mid to upper 80s this afternoon. Through the Willamette Valley, partly sunny skies continue with Salem and Albany reaching the mid 80s. Corvallis tops out near 85 with decreasing clouds, while Eugene stays mostly cloudy with a high near 86. Central Oregon sees patchy smoke through the day with Prineville reaching 89. Bend and Sun River both top out near 85, while Boise turns hot with sunshine and an afternoon high near 95. Along the Oregon coast, mostly sunny skies bring a high of 75 in Coos Bay, while Port Orford stays partly sunny near 68. Brookings sees decreasing clouds near 56, and Crescent City starts with areas of fog before becoming mostly cloudy near 61. Across southern Oregon, gradual clearing develops in Grants Pass with highs near 93. Medford reaches 94 with decreasing clouds. Ashland tops out near 90, and Klamath Falls also sees decreasing clouds with a high near 86. In Northern California, partly sunny skies bring Wairika to 86, while Redding turns hot near 96. Chico stays mostly sunny with a high near 94, and Fort Bragg sees decreasing clouds with a high near 60. Around the Bay Area, patchy fog gives way to mostly sunny skies and 77 in Santa Rosa. Napa stays mostly sunny near 78. San Francisco is partly sunny near 67. And San Jose starts with patchy fog before sunshine and 81. For Central California, mostly sunny conditions continue with Sacramento near 91 and Stockton Modesto becoming sunny near 90. Fresno Visalia reached 97 and Bakersfield climbs to 98 under mostly sunny skies. And that's a look at your Monday weather from Grange Co-op.
Yeah, time for a look back at an amazing record that was set on this day in history. Elvis Presley was one of the best-selling recording artists of all time. But on this day in 1977, the day after his death, the King set a very different kind of record. FTD, the nationwide flower delivery service, received so many orders from Elvis fans that 3,116 floral arrangements were delivered in connection with his death, a single-day U.S. record that remains unmatched for a celebrity. Memphis florists quickly ran out of flowers, forcing additional shipments to be brought in from other parts of the country. The arrangements weren't just bouquets. Some were shaped like guitars, musical notes, lightning bolts, and even hound dogs. And when Elvis was laid to rest the next day, thousands of mourners lined Elvis Presley Boulevard while the cemetery was described as a sea of flowers. For a man known as the King of Rock and Roll, it was a remarkable final measure of his popularity. Even in death, Elvis was still breaking records.
Wow.
Even a hound dog. I had my...
What a story.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
You know?
I was
so for your memorial, we're going to send broken skis and old ski boots and water balloons.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
You gotta settle down, Jerry.
I was talking to my grandbabies on Saturday, and they were saying, tell us one of your stories, one of your history stories, Grandpa.
Yeah.
And so I told them this story about Elvis.
Yeah.
And I said, you know who Elvis was? And they go, no. I said, well, he had some really good music. And so I played Hound Dog for them. And they go, oh, yeah, this is good. Yeah, they were bopping. Hound Dog.
You ain't nothing but.
That's right.
Okay, well, listen, as expected, and yet amazing, Samaritan's Purse has responded to Colombia as a result of the earthquakes there with their first load. And here's a little bit of a quick update.
Today we are preparing our Boeing 767 to head down to Colombia, where we're taking relief supplies for the earthquake that they recently had. First of all, I would ask for you to pray for the people of Colombia as they recover from this devastating earthquake. As we head down, we would ask for safe travel there and back, but more importantly, that the cargo that we're carrying, the relief supplies that are on this aircraft, get into exactly the hands of who God wants them to get into so that they can help them and so that they can see the help and hope in Jesus' name.
Wow.
Well, gosh.
That's quick.
It is. And that 757 is flying constantly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I tell you, Samaritan's Purse is just amazing. I don't know where you are in the season of life, but you may want to consider volunteering and being used by them. All right, we'll take a quick pineapple break. Where's the Pineapple Express coming in?
Your property demands equipment with more reliability, durability, and versatility built in. Kubota equipment is ready to get the job done right.
The Life Essentials Interactive Study Bible by Dr. Gene Getz. The first ever multimedia study Bible with QR codes enabling you to view 1,500 videos. Watch on your smartphone, tablet, or computer with Gene Getz teaching Principles to Live By from every book of Scripture. 250 hours of in-depth teaching. Gene Getz has over 60 years of Bible teaching and is a renowned theologian. The Life Essentials Bible is a seminary in a box. Read, watch, apply. Get yours today for your own spiritual growth or as a gift that will minister greatly to your family and friends. Purchase your copy of the Life Essentials Study Bible at Christian bookstores or go to their website, BiblePrinciples.org. and click on Video Search, where you can access all the principles for free. Take your faith deeper. Get your Life Essentials. Study Bible today at Christian bookstores or BiblePrinciples.org.
The world has a view, but God has the vision. That's what sets the Vision TV show apart. The Vision is an inspirational talk show that elevates voices of faith through powerful conversations, highlighting changemakers making a difference, blending heartfelt storytelling with practical insight, encouraging viewers to live life with clarity, compassion, and vision. Join Alveda King and friends for The Vision, Tuesdays right here on the Dove TV.
Okay, how you doing out there? 12 minutes before the hour. Cold War.
Cold War. Yeah. Well,
Remember the term?
Oh, yeah, very well. We all grew up, you know, during the Cold War. A lot of people went through the drills, duck and cover, get under your desks and at school. Oh my goodness, there was.
I remember getting under desk at school, as if that was going to do anything. I guess particularly if the building fell down.
There you go. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. The radiation will kill you.
It was, but I also remember we had a drill. Gosh, I'm trying to think how long ago this was, that we ran and got into a empty irrigation ditch because we were out in the country.
Okay. Wow.
As if that was going to do something. I don't know, but
yeah.
All right. So, but we have generations on the scene now that have no idea what that term means.
Right.
So PragerU's out on Hollywood Boulevard asking if they know about the Cold War. Kind of interesting.
All right.
Do you know what the Cold War was?
No, really, no. The Cold War, honestly, I don't know.
You're from France, so you're European. What do you know about the Cold War?
Nothing. I heard about it. They taught us about it in school and stuff like that. Kind of knew about it before, kind of forgot about it after a while.
It was the war where the U.S. basically was like in a standoff with, pretty sure it was Russia.
Yeah, the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And I know that there are a lot of events within the U.S. that increased tensions, like trying to get to the moon, things like that.
Yeah, the space race.
I was in service from 82 to 88.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. And yeah, it's kind of funny because I never felt any bad feelings towards any Russians. I don't think any Russians really felt any bad feelings towards us. To me, the Cold War was just a scare technique to take a lot of tax dollars and build the industrial military complex.
Why do you think a war would be referred as the Cold War?
Something about in another country?
Maybe because it was cold.
Yes, and it was really hot war.
It wasn't hot.
No, it was hot in the summer.
Yeah. You know why it was called the Cold War?
Yeah, because you had to be silent about it. Because it was like one of those wars that we was facing each other, but we wasn't facing each other out loud to the public.
Oh, I thought it was just because of the fact that nobody actually bombed each other and there was the threat of actually bombing each other.
Because it was so long? Or?
Not really. It was long for sure, 1947 to 1991. And the Cold War was a period of tension and competition between these two superpowers. But they didn't attack each other in a large-scale war directly.
Like nowadays.
Could you name any U.S. president during that period of time?
Was it Eisenhower?
One of them, yes.
Bush,
father.
Yeah.
Roosevelt.
Kennedy,
yes.
Reagan.
Yes. You know anything about the Berlin Wall? Have you heard of it?
The Berlin Wall, yes. I know very little, I guess. It fell.
You know where the Berlin Wall was located?
Not exactly.
It was in Berlin, Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know where Berlin is?
Europe?
You know what economic system did the Soviet Union use?
No.
Was it considered communist or?
Yeah.
I don't know if it actually was, but I know that's what we were calling it at the time.
No, I don't know.
It was communism.
Really?
Are you glad the U.S. defeated the Soviet Union?
The U.S. didn't defeat the Soviets.
Okay, why?
I think that's a big misnomer.
In one sense, yes, because I wouldn't be out here drawing, making money.
I would say the Cold War is not over. The Cold War is basically a war against the people to make them think that there's a war going on. Of course, they're doing their horrible things anyhow, right? It's all play.
I see that you love everybody, but you don't love communism, right? You don't love communism.
Definitely not.
We don't love communism.
Exactly. Don't do it.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Where was that?
Where was that located? Who's buried in Grant's tomb?
Yeah.
Do you know where the Berlin Wall was located? No.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Where's Washington's monument?
Golly.
Well, it's kind of interesting because I think the greatest Maybe the most publicized threat of the Cold War was the Bay of Pigs.
You are right.
That's the one that came to really the closest to everything. And Kennedy, and his thought process, sitting in his chair with back pain, trying to figure this thing out.
They said that Kennedy and Khrushchev came eyeball to eyeball, and Khrushchev blinked. Yeah.
That's kind of what it was.
Yeah. And there were incidents even inside that embargo that went on, where there were incidents where nuclear-tipped submarines, they were close to firing.
Right.
And it really boiled down to individuals saying, "No, I don't think this is real." It took people, individuals, to decide not to pull the trigger.
So was that done in a garage too?
Oh,
kind of like landing on the moon. Remember that?
Okay. Yeah. Well, we never really landed on the moon, did we?
Not.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about that? Here we are, all these years later, and guess what?
What?
We have this communist-controlled country still there, called Cuba.
Cuba. That's right. Or as Kennedy.
And are we going to finish it or not?
What's the next step on that? And how long can they hold out, especially in the type of economic conditions that they exist under, which is really dire straits?
Well, the Monroe Doctrine that says anything in the Northern Hemisphere we need to protect.
They're holding out for Mamdani.
Well, is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Oh, well, we ought to send him down there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, let's send him Mamdani and say, here, go down and run this and let me know how it's going for you.
Oh, man.
Hey, Kenneth Abramowitz, always great to have him around. He's the author of The Multi-Front War. If you talk about a guy that really does have his finger on the pulse, and he's very simple. He's very simple in explaining the problem.
Okay.
So we'll have him coming up. And then Dr. Andrew Fox will be with us. And we'll be talking. He's an interesting guy. He was listen to this one. Only God can do this.
Okay.
He was a former Assembly of God pastor turned Anglican priest.
What?
And intellectual.
Wow.
Very smart guy.
All right.
And I like talking to him, so we'll talk to him coming up.
Sometimes seeing a problem is all it takes to inspire someone to be a part of the solution. Check this out.
That is exactly what happened when Mark Waters noticed women and young children walking alongside a busy road and waiting for a bus in grass that was taller than some of the kids.
I was going to work and I saw all the little children with the women walking on this major road right here, and the grass as tall as they are, definitely taller than the kids. And then they walked over here and was standing at the bus stop in the high grass with cars still flying by them. And there's just no way, as a man, I could let that happen.
It's a powerful reminder that making a difference doesn't always require a big organization or a complicated plan. Sometimes it starts with one person seeing something that isn't right and deciding to do something about it.
Yeah, and that may mean just getting on your mower and fixing it like he did.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
I take with you James chapter 1, verses 2 and 3. Count it all joy, my brothers and sisters, when you meet trials of various kinds. Why? For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. Yeah, don't forget that little piece of truth there. Be careful out there, hot and dry, okay?
Blessed peace with my Lord so near, leaning on the everlasting arm.
Weekday mornings on the Dove, it's one of the longest running shows in broadcast history, the 700 Club. Informative, with the day's stories from a biblical perspective.
Israel finds itself fighting.
Trusted investigative reporting.
Our chief political analyst, David.
Encouraging, with uplifting stories of faith.
And then she heard a prayer. I immediately felt the Holy Spirit.
Be encouraged and informed with the 700 Club. Weekdays at 11 on the Dove TV. Get more at thedove.us. They travel across America to give an answer for questions, doubts, and challenges concerning faith.
The Gospels are historically reliable.
Their mission, present truth, faith, and help people find purpose.
Not based on blind faith.
Join them as they strive to make a lasting impact on lives and hearts for Christ.
They're either all wrong or one of them's right. I got to go to the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Don't miss Give Me an Answer, weekdays at 3 on the Dove TV.
Take the Dove TV wherever you go worldwide. We're seen live 24/7 and streaming on demand on all major platforms, including Roku, Apple, Google, and Fire TV. Plus, you can catch the Dove TV and radio online at the new theDove.us and the Dove's new mobile app. Download today. Bring powerful, God-centered content and news with you wherever you go. From the Dove, encouraging and informative.
Get the day's top news from a Christian worldview. CBN Newswatch, weekdays at noon and 4:30 on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative.
Well, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson. And of course, the Middle East is the Middle East, and it changes about every 30 seconds. But some things don't change, and that's the people we're trying to do business with. I'm always honored. One of my favorite people to have, Kenneth Abramowitz, is back with us. He's the author of a fascinating book that kind of takes everything that we're dealing with headlines and brings it into focus. It's called The Multi-Front War, Defending America from Political Islam, China, Russia, Pandemics, and Racial Strife. There's a picture of the cover of the book on the screen there. He's the managing general partner and co-founder of NGN Capital. He has been a contributor to various organizations that are fighting to protect Israel and America from political Islam and the radical left. He's the founder of SaveTheWest.com, a website dedicated to saving Western civilization from itself. And you can go to SaveTheWest.com, and there's a picture of that landing page. And of course, check out the book. It's available online, The Multi-Front War. Kenneth, it's always an honor to have you, sir. How are you?
It's always great to be with you.
All right. It's so interesting because a lot of times you and I are together, and I get your answers. They ring in my head every time I hear, like, well, we're going to sit down and talk with these people again, and we're going to actually think like we can make a deal with them. And I kind of snicker because I know what your answer is. But here we are again. What's your take on the condition of the war today?
Well, right now there's basically status quo, I would say. America is blockading the Strait of Hormuz, so Iran's not shipping any oil and through the strait. They might be shipping it by truck to various other countries, but most of the oil is not going through. And America's quietly shepherding through others' tankers so that oil's getting out of the strait, which is good. Remember, President Trump is critically focused on getting oil prices down, gas prices down before the midterms. And so I'm just waiting for all hell to break loose. You know, right now it's like a quiet, but the tension's building, and just a question of time till Iran provokes America by attacking more ships.
Okay. Late last week and over the weekend, Secretary Treasurer Scott Bessent said that we were going to do economic pressure on Iran unlike anything that's ever been done before in history. You have any idea what that is?
Well, first, if he were here with us, I would say, and why didn't you do it yesterday? How about last week, last month? I mean, Iran's been a bully and nuisance to the world for 47 years. It took you 47 years to have sanctions, economic pressure on Iran like never been seen before. So anyways, but I can't change history. So I would say, so that's a good statement. So do it. we basically have to bankrupt Iran as fast as humanly possible, because every day that we wait is another day that they create mischief, whether it's bringing missiles out of their hidden bunkers, whether it's further developing a nuclear weapon, whether it's financing their 600,000 worldwide terror organization. Every day that Iran exists, the world is at existential threat. So I'm glad to hear the Secretary of Treasury saying, putting words in his mouth, we're going to bankrupt Iran as fast as humanly possible. So sounds good to me.
What measures? I mean, all right, so we cut oil exports out. What else? Sanctions?
Well, there's one of the issues in sanctions is an issue called secondary sanctions. So you sanction the intermediary. So, for example, if anyone ships any of Iranian oil to someone, whether it's China, so they buy most of the oil, so you put sanctions on China. Or if it's facilitated by a bank in China, you put sanctions on that bank in China. So you go after anyone aiding and abetting Iran in their quest to sell oil or other products to anywhere. Basically, there should be a total boycott of Iran. And you can accomplish that hopefully through these secondary sanctions. But also, I'm just waiting for Iran to attack America so America can use it as an excuse to blow up all the roads going from Iran to anywhere. I read that there's 6 roads going to Pakistan. Blow them up. That Iran's getting shipments from Russia through the Caspian Sea. Blow up the ports. So these sanctions are a way of compensating for not blowing up all the roads. But since we're in a state of war, you might as well use all your abilities. So I expect that when Iran provokes America again, the Air Force will basically blow up all connections between Iran and anybody else.
The president said over the weekend, Kenneth, that he's considering turning the Straits into a territory of the United States. That's a big statement. He goes further to say if Oman gets involved, he was going to bomb the blank out of them. I guess this is war rhetoric, but is it possible to turn the Straits into an American territory?
Sure. And by the way, remember Canada's going to become the 51st state, Greenland the 52nd state. I want England and France to become 53 and 54, Mexico 55. So, let's keep going here. By the way, we barely can manage our own 50 states, let alone acquiring the new 50 states that I enunciated. But I like tough rhetoric, because if you have tough rhetoric, it might reduce the chances that you have to blow things up. See what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's 2 ways to fight a war. I mean, there's more, but pretend there's 2 ways. One is to actually blow things up. The second way is to threaten to blow things up, and then maybe the bad guys will change their behavior. So I like tough rhetoric. I think it's good to threaten bad guys.
What?
To answer your question, yes, we can take the trouble with. I would like to change the Strait of Hormuz to the Strait of Trump or the Strait of America, but we would have to keep a third of our Navy there forever. So it's not going to stay the Strait of America without 20 ships and 1 or 2 aircraft carriers and 150 planes ready to launch at 15-minute notice.
Wow. What does Iran hope to gain by sending missiles to its neighbors? What's the strategy there?
Well, the strategy is to buy time to cause its neighbors, the Sunni Muslim countries, to pressure America to accommodate Iranian wishes, in other words, appease Iran, and to take pressure off of the strait, let Iran get away with murder, so to speak, but it's good for business because then they can ship their oil and natural gas. And if they have to pay a tax to Iran, so be it. And so that basically, that's how you get into an endless war. You just keep appeasing the tiger and not realizing that next week, if they took a tax last week, let's just say a 2% tax, then next week it's going to be a 3% tax. And the week after, a 4% tax. Mm-hmm. See what I mean? When you're dealing with an extortionist criminal organization, there's no limit to what they're going to ask of their Sunni Muslim friends, so to speak, or America or Israel. So my feeling is that the way to end endless wars, and President Trump always says, I hate endless wars, is to win them. And now it's time to win this war.
Do you think it's possible, Kenneth, that the president's going to be forced to do something sooner than he wants to? And it appears to me he's trying to delay this last go-around until after the midterm. But
that's good guess. Good guess.
Okay, but it looks like to me that also provides Iran with one of its greatest objectives, and that is to pull the president into a war before the midterm. Am I missing something here?
No, that would be my guess also. That, in fact, I just heard General Jack Keane discuss this, and he said, my guess, and I was saying the same thing to myself at the same time. He said, my guess is Iran will miscalculate. They'll attack ships in the strait just before November 3 election, create what people call an October surprise, and force President Trump's hand to do something dramatic, and then cause this issue to be back on the front page. President Trump doesn't want it on the front page. And so that would be my guess as to it was what General Jack Keane guessed, and I would guess that they would do the same. And because what they're most worried about is November 4th. On November 4th, America and Israel can basically blow up all the targets that there are in, I'll guess, 2 weeks. And if I'm wrong, it's 3 weeks. So they don't want that. So they want Trump to lose the election, and not personally, but as a Republican representative of the Republican Party, and they want Netanyahu to lose his election October 27th in Israel. So that's why it's a good guess that they have something up their sleeves in October to help both of those, or to hurt, help them lose. In other words, hurt both of those two leaders, basically the best two leaders in the world.
Okay. Over the weekend, Israel announced that they had confiscated a huge amount of armament, and when they got into it and did the forensic of the armament, a lot of it did come from Russia, China. A lot of it was homemade, apparently, as they're investigating into Gaza, which certainly indicates that China and Russia is feeding this problem. Can you prevent that?
Well, it's what I just discussed a few minutes ago. There's two solutions. One is you blow everybody up, which the trouble with that is that we don't have enough bombs to blow up all of our enemies. You know, we have so many enemies around the world that if you could actually do it, you can't blow up Russia, you can't blow up China, you can't blow up North Korea without having a huge mess on your hand. So the question is, all right, so what else are you going to do? Well, you can certainly make it difficult for those countries to send weapons to the bad guys. Basically, either America or Israel should be blowing up any shipment from Russia or China or North Korea that comes anywhere close to the Middle East. I mean, you can ask those countries to please don't ship weapons, but that's not going to work. So we basically have to start blowing up trains, roads, ports, so that bad guys can't get weapons. That would be the, and then you don't have to kill a lot of people because you're just blowing up roads.
Yeah,
you're not blowing up people.
One other quick question before I take a break, and I want to switch your attention over back to Gaza and this whole idea of Hamas willing to demilitarize Gaza. How realistic is that?
Well, I have an expression that the bad guys, which I call reds, greens, and blues, communists, globalists, Islamists, I color code them reds, greens, and blues. They lie 99% of the time. So 1% of the time, they can't control themselves and they say, "I hate you. I want to kill you." They go, "Okay, now you're telling the truth." But when you're, in quotes, negotiating with them or talking with them, they're lying 99% of the time because they can't tell you the truth except when they slip up 1% of the time. And so therefore, you can't trust anything they say. I think it's a waste of time negotiating. You basically have to dictate to them. You have to basically say, you will do the following things or I will blow you up. That's basically the only way you can do it. Think of it as pretend you're a lion tamer in the circus when they used to have circuses. And you have a whip and a knife and a gun and pretend lions speak English. You can say whatever you want to the lion. The only thing the lion's looking at is your whip, your gun, and your knife. Yeah. And that's the only way you can dictate their behavior.
Well said. What an example. Let me take a quick break. A couple of things. Get a copy of his book called The Multi-Front War. It's available online. There's a picture of the cover. It pretty much explains everything that we're dealing with here. And his website, SaveTheWest.com. Extremely resourceful, SaveTheWest.com. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Ed, co-owner of Visiting Angels. To continue to serve our seniors, we need more caregivers with a heart to serve. Our mission statement is honoring the art of giving, which means we honor you, the caregiver. We know it's our people that make Visiting Angels the best in-home care provider and a great place to work. Come be our next amazing caregiver. Give us a call or apply online. At Visiting Angels, we're committed to you because we honor the art of giving.
We love staying connected with you, our amazing Dove partners. That's why we created the Studio Insider, your complimentary magazine packed with everything happening at the Dove. See how your support is changing lives, check out our TV and radio schedules, meet our team in the staff spotlight, enjoy faith-filled reflections, a fun crossword puzzle, and so much more. It's your inside look at the Dove.
I'm gonna let it shine, gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, gonna let it shine. Oh, shine.
Pastor Jack Hibbs, championing religious liberty, a deep love of God, freedom, and America. You may have seen him in the news during COVID as he pushed back against government-mandated church closures. Now you can see him on the Dove TV every weekend on Real Life with Jack Hibbs. Learn, grow in your faith, and impact the world with authentic biblical teaching. Watch Real Life with Jack Hibbs Sundays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on the Dove TV.
Okay, welcome back. Always an honor to have with us Kenneth Abramowitz, author of The Multi-Front War, which is an amazing book dealing just about everything that we're talking about here. It is available online. And check out his website, and that's SaveTheWest.com, which is one of the great resources of our day, SaveTheWest.com. And the book is entitled The Multi-Front War. Kenneth, I was trying to figure out how to ask this question, so forgive me if I stumble here. I've been trying to figure out where all of this anti-Semitism is coming from various directions. And I'm noticing something, and that is that there is a group that separates the Jews from the state of Israel. There's some religions that are for the Jews but against the state because of history. There are Christians that blindly, if I can use that word respectfully, endorse anything that the Jews and the Israel does. And then there is the overall prophetic part of Israel as it relates to the Bible. How did that all get mixed up?
Well, there's a lot of reason why people hate Jews, and all of it irrational or rational. I'll explain to you in a way it's rational. The three enemies of the world are the reds, the greens, and the blues. The reds, the communists, that's China, Russia. The green are the Islamists, that's Qatar and Iran. And the blue are the globalists, that's the United Nations and drug cartels and some of the social media companies. So what do these three groups of enemies have in common? Well, they all hate Jews. By the way, they also hate Christians, but they've realized that Jews are low-hanging fruit. Jews are only 2% of America, less than 1% of the world. Christians are 25% of the world, 90% of America. So they very cleverly pretend that they just hate Jews. But they hate Christians. It's Jews happen to be in the way. So they figure, let's go after the Jews, split the Jews from the Christians, who should be natural allies, not natural enemies. And then if we can move the Jews out of the way, so to speak, which they can't, but pretend in their minds that they can, then Christianity will collapse because Judaism is the foundation of Christianity. Another way of saying the same thing, if you say, I hate the Jews because they believe in the Ten Commandments, and you get rid of the Jews, the Christians would say, well, I believe in the Ten Commandments too. And they say, oh, well, we have to get rid of you too. Now, the question I'm getting to is, why is the Ten Commandments, which I call the personification of Judaism and Christianity, why is the Ten Commandments, why are they so violently opposed to the Ten Commandments? The reason is that they're criminals. The Reds, the Greens, and the Blues are all criminal organizations. And if you go back into biblical history, the world was run by criminal organizations. Every country, every city, every state was run by a criminal organization, and I called them pagan criminals. In other words, they didn't believe in one God, so I call them pagan criminals. Well, here we are 3,300 years later, and 90% of countries are still run by pagan criminals. And that's why they hate the Jews, because the Jews represent morality, represent the Ten Commandments, represent the rule of law. And if you're a criminal, the last thing you want to hear about is a lecture about the rule of law.
So well said. So well said. So do you think the president understands what you just said?
Yes, but he hasn't internalized it. You see, I have a theory that because our enemies, Reds, Greens, and Blues, are all determined to destroy all Jews and Christians, which we call Western civilization, that there's two ways to defeat our enemies. One way is to do what I mentioned a few minutes ago, blow everybody up. But if President Trump or any president announced, oh, we have three enemies, they're Reds, Greens, and Blues, they incorporate 10 evil countries, and I'm going to blow everyone up simultaneously. You can see in a democracy that just doesn't work, okay? So they call a psychiatrist and say that something's wrong with President Trump. So I have a theory that if President Trump fully understood anti-Semitism and the origins of anti-Semitism, he could basically and I've written about this, to criminalize anti-Semitism, and then use that to criminalize our enemies. Now, you would say to me, how do you criminalize anti-Semitism? Isn't it just words, like I hate you or something? You don't go to jail because you say I hate you. Well, the code word that I want criminalized is incitement to genocide. I think when someone says, I want to kill all the Jews, I think that person should be in jail, even though he didn't kill anybody. Now, some lawyer would say, oh, no, that's freedom of speech. And my response is, no, you don't have the freedom of speech to announce the annihilation, genocide of a group of people. And so if he internalized that and criminalized incitement to genocide, we could start criminalizing many of our enemies, both foreign and domestic, without having to blow up millions of people, which obviously nobody wants.
Wow. How do you handle when you have now people, especially in New York, saying that America deserves 9/11 or deserved 9/11, and that Madani shouldn't go down to the 9/11 on 9/11?
Well, you get into a very big issue is, should we allow agents of the Reds, Greens, and Blues, basically foreign agents, to run in American elections and say that anybody can run an election? My response is no. We have to require, it's not required now, we have to require national security clearances for public officials. Mandani is a Ugandan citizen. He became a citizen 7 years ago due to faults because he lied on his immigration application. Not that I saw his immigration application, but if he said that if he was a fan of Iran, what's called a Shiite Twelver, looking for the 12th Imam to come back due to total chaos, he believes all Christians and Jews have no right to live, that everyone's been replaced by Islam and everyone has to adopt Islam or we're going to kill them. If he had put that on his application, he wouldn't have become a citizen. So we have to start, and President Trump is the only one who can do this. We have to start not allowing foreign agents to run in our elections, or else it's going to corrupt the whole system. For someone to come and say, vote for me, I hate the Constitution, I hate the Bill of Rights, I hate Christians, I hate Jews, I want to kill everybody and replace them by an Islamic caliphate. My response is, no, I don't have to listen to this nonsense, and I'm not going to allow you to run. In fact, I'm going to deport you if you're deportable, or I'll put you in jail for inciting genocide against Jews and Christians. So we have to be much tougher on our foreign enemies who are invading us through the electoral process.
One other question before I let you go. It's fascinating. What would be the benefit, if any, if the president had his own October surprise before the Middle East has its October surprise? How would that impact November 3rd?
Well, that's a very logical question to ask, because if the bad guys are trying to create an October surprise, whether they're just your competitors within the U.S. or if they're your foreign enemies, how can you surprise them?
Yeah.
I guess the number one thing I would go after is what Secretary Besson said. Now, I'm putting words in his mouth. I would go a step further. But he says he wants to do economic sanctions of unprecedented proportions. I would go to the next step, either say it or do it, either one, that we're going to bankrupt Iran within weeks and bring them to their knees. You don't have to announce it. You just have to do it. That would be an October surprise. In other words, if the Iranian government collapsed between now and November 3, that would be pretty good for the elections and be pretty good for the Iranian people. If he could hasten that without bombs during the next month or two, that would be the equivalent of an October surprise.
Just one last little question comment. I love your red, green, and blue analysis. It appears to me, Kenneth, that America's #1 secret weapon is economic pressure. Globally, there isn't a country we can't put heat on economically. You wonder why we don't use that more often.
Well, I monitor 7 forms of warfare, and that's one of the 7. Just in 30 seconds to be complete, there's physical war, which we discussed, which you use sparingly. There's chemical, biological. There's cultural war. By the way, we, the two of us, but everyone listening, we're all cultural warriors. We fight with our words. You can, number 4, economics, which you just mentioned. Number 5, legal or lawfare. Number 6, demographics. Number 7, cyber. So I monitor all 7 forms of warfare. And one of the key points of my book, The Multi-Front War, in my website, SaveTheWest.com, is if you use the other forms of warfare, the non-kinetic forms of warfare properly, you may not have to use kinetic warfare. In other words, if you use strong economic warfare, strong cultural warfare, in other words, explain how evil people are, and lawfare and cyber, maybe you don't have to blow things up. So that's actually the big thesis of the book, is use all forms of warfare and reserve kinetic warfare or physical war when you run out of options.
Wow. All right. The book is called The Multi-Front War, Defending America from Political Islam, China, Russia, Pandemics, and Racial Strife. You can get that online. It's a must-read. And you can also connect through his website, SaveTheWest.com. There's a picture of that landing page, SaveTheWest.com. Kenneth, you're amazing, friend. Thank you. God bless you, pal. Stay in the fight.
Pleasure to be with you.
Okay.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect. Millions are struggling with life and their walk with God. Transformed is a groundbreaking series seen right here on the Dove TV that every week takes you behind closed doors to witness biblical counseling with real people facing real issues.
It was common to me to feel like I just wanted to escape.
It could be anxiety, depression, addictions, or other concerns. No issue is taken off the table.
To just get the pain out of my head and out of my heart.
The Bible has answers to life's problems. God's wisdom is better than man's. Lives are changed because God's hope is offered, not just treating the symptoms.
It's through the eyes of faith. Trusting what God says and being willing to obey what God says, even if it's not what you immediately feel.
Join Dr. Greg Gifford and see lives transform from brokenness to wholeness. Mondays at 8:30 and Thursdays at 5, only on the Dove TV.
The Dove is making it easier to take our trusted, faithful content with you wherever you go with the new Dove.us website and our new Dove mobile app. It's a fresh new way to watch, listen, read, and connect with the Dove 24/7. It's an improved experience for you, designed with easy navigation to help you quickly find what you need. Visit the new Dove.us today and download the radio and TV app for Apple and Android devices. An easier way to experience the Dove.
Well, welcome back. Been looking forward to our guest. Had him on a couple of times and consider fascinating discussions. And I'm honored to have back with us today Dr. Andrew Fox. He's an organizational cultural expert, educator, author, and an Anglican priest with more than 30 years of experience in leadership, communication, and cultural development. He is the CEO of the Cultural Clarity and the author of a forthcoming book entitled Truth in the Age of Applause: How Stupidity is Ruining the American Dream, which examines how groupthink, social pressure, and the pursuit of approval can undermine truth and independent thinking in our modern society. So be looking for that. Dr. Fox, good to see you again, friend. How are you?
It's really good to see you again, Perry. And I thought I'd wear the priestly collar for you this time.
Well, hey, first of all, where can they get the book?
The book is coming out next month.
Okay.
And will be available on the usual platforms, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and so on and so forth. But you can get a pre-ordered copy from truthintheageofapplause.com.
Okay, good. So much to talk to you about, so little time. Your own story is so fascinating to me. Someday we'll come back and visit that. But over the weekend, there were reports about foot washing facilities at the Dallas airport. Has sparked a broader debate about accommodating the Islamic religion. And apparently they want to do away with this. Why is this an interest to us?
Well, for a start, the airport is tax funded. But this project, or the proposed project, is privately funded. And so you've got to ask yourself, where do these funds come from? Well, obviously they come from the Muslim world. And you're bringing something exclusive into a very public tax-funded place. And even the chapel, or spiritual space, as they now call it, is ecumenical. It used to be that you had a cross and an altar and some pews, and it just, everything about it said this is Christian. But then, of course, you have multiple faiths that use that space, will continue to use that space. Muslims can pray, Christians can pray, Jews can pray. They might not want to pray together, but to create an exclusive space is then to say, well, what about the Christians? What about the Jews? What about the Hindus? What about others? And the real overriding question is, where does legitimate religious accommodation end and an ideology begin, and actually begin to shape the whole functioning of the airport? So believe you me, in downtown Austin, where I live, I've interviewed the imam several times there. And prior to going into his space to interview him, I would wash my hands in the space where they wash their hands and their feet. And some of them go further. They wash their faces, their head. Now, I don't wish to be disrespectful, but that space is probably one of the most unhygienic spaces you'll ever go in. And the idea is to cleanse yourself before you pray. So who cleans up this space? Is it another Muslim, or is it an airport employee? There's so many levels of complicated cultural nuances here that beg the question, when does religious accommodation end and preference to ideology begin? And if it continues, the airport in Dallas, the main airport, will become a main hub for Islam. And I mean no prejudice or Islamophobia against that, but just the facts speak for themselves. So they're called wudus. That's what these washing spaces are called. And there's a wudu space for men and a wudu space for women. Who regulates this? Who monitors this? Who makes sure that, like a public bathroom, that they remain clean? Who monitors it? You can imagine so many levels of nuances here. And that's just on a cultural ideology level. But more so, you've got to look at it at a much deeper level than that, which I don't know how far you want to take this conversation, but in the state of Texas, there is a rising amount of, they call them University Islam Finance Centers. And it's where a great deal of money is being hoarded and being released for schools and community centers and places of worship. And the people that oversee that insist that you comply with Sharia law. So in what way, let's go back to the airport, does washing your feet comply with Sharia law when we're under the law that is the United States of America? At what point do they clash? So many questions, Perry, for this.
So, Dr. Fox, I understand where you're coming from. This is fascinating. But at the end of the day, it seems to be very intentional for one to supersede others. They've used the freedom of religion to advance a singular religion in a very subtle way. I know that sounds phobia, and I don't mean it to be that. But we can't ignore this, can we?
No, we cannot. You're seeing this similar thing happening in the UK as well, where Christians, for instance, a few will gather together, 2 or 3. After all, the Bible says where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am. And if 2 or 3 of you agree on anything as touching God, it will be done. And so a small gathering of 2 or 3 people near a pregnancy center, quietly out the way on the sidewalk, so they're not inhibiting anyone, will just say a word of prayer and then move on. And they're being arrested for it. And yet the Muslim counterpart in the UK is bringing out their prayer mats and blocking roads, putting them out in the main road and kneeling towards the east to pray. That's an obstruction of traffic. And you've got your own mosques, go pray in your own mosques. So there is a deliberate, intentional bullying. If you lay a hand on me, then you're Islamophobic, 2-tier policing going off in the UK. So many horrific stories there. And now we're seeing this specifically in the state of Texas. Now, I've lived in Washington State, the great go west young man kind of state, and it still is kind of going west. I've lived in Wichita, Kansas for 2 years, which I'd rather forget. But then I moved to Texas and spent many, many years here. And it's like Texas is what the rest of the world see America as. And yet here in Texas is where there's almost an invasion of Muslim enterprises with a lot of cash. And so again, where does religious accommodation end? And where does ideology begin? So let me just throw this at you, Perry. If you're going to teach Islam in public schools, fine, but teach them as comparative religions. Let's compare Muslims to Jews, to Christians, to Hindus, to Sikhs, and so on and so forth, where you're looking at their history, their beginning, and their beliefs. It's a comparative religion. It's a healthy thing. But at what point do you actually start teaching about religion, and then you step over a line and you affirm that religion, that one religion? And so you have, halal food being served to grade school kids. You've got day trips to your local mosque. That's not teaching comparative religion. That is actually affirming that religion by activity.
One other question on this. We could camp here all day, but let me cut to the core of this. I'm wondering if the Christian community understands this and how serious it is and what the intentional agenda is of this movement when we are taught to love. I was reading the scripture of the weekend in a book, and it's pretty simple that we are to hate, we believers, we are to hate evil.
Yes.
But we don't like that word, and we don't like the word hate because it seems to be in contrast of the Christian message of love. Mm-hmm. But now we see something swelling, and I don't know if we understand what this is, and are we prepared for it?
Well, there's 2 questions there. I think there could be confusion as to what it is, and what we should do about it would be the following question. If you look at the Democrat Party, it is completely split, and I believe there'll be a third party, which will be exclusively a socialist party, a third option. Now, I mix with and teach many students, Gen Z, 20-something-year-old students. They are politically homeless. They are spiritually homeless and very, very impressionable. And even the Christian Gen Z kind of 20-something person finds socialism attractive. So the irony is in all of this with the DSA, the Democrat Socialist America, is even Democrat governors are supporting it. But at the heart of the DSA is to get rid of all governors, get rid of Congress, and scrap the White House. And so it's like you're shooting yourself in your own foot. It shows that people are not thinking the implications through, which may speak to your first question of, do we understand this? I think we have to pause and think about what's actually going on. There are over 200 local and state offices that are now occupied exclusively by someone who follows Islam. And women that are not Muslim are voting these characters into office without thinking that their very religion will suppress women. So why are you doing that? It's the irony of watching the governor of Massachusetts sign a bill saying you can abort a baby right up until the day before it's born. And as evil as that is, surrounding that was exclusively women with the God-given ability and the biology in a uterus to bring life into the world. It's what Isaiah said. It's calling good evil and evil good. And God says to us, woe to you. So I think as a church, to answer your second question, we really should be taking Scripture, gathering together to worship the Lord and serve Him only, very, very serious. Not in a militant way, because we know that the Scriptures say the Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. I would say to mega churches and the local church on the street corner, in the Anglican tradition, we have morning prayer, which is called matins, which is the Latin for belonging to the morning. And we have evening prayer called Vespers, which again means belonging to the evening. On Tuesday evening, we pray for an hour. Friday morning, we pray at 6:30 in the morning, just for an hour. And if you have the time, come to your local church and pray. We are seeing impact in our community in ways beyond the scope of our conversation here, just because God's people are humbling themselves and praying. And I'm all for that. I'm also for people stepping up and running for office to fight against this, but never neglect the power of what it is to come together and pray in Jesus' name.
Amen. By the way, my nightstand, I have the Anglican Common Book of Prayer.
I trust you read it.
Every, more than perhaps you would realize.
Well, there's beauty in the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
There's beauty in memorizing some of those liturgical prayers and, give God something to breathe on. Yeah. And it becomes meat to your soul.
All right, let me take a quick break. Get a pre-order of the book called Truth in the Age of Applause. You can go there to the Truth of the Age of Applause. Is it .com or the book.com?
It's truthintheageofapplause.com.
All right, check that out. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon.
There may have never been another time in history when end times prophecy has been more aligned with the culture and circumstances of the world than it is today. I believe there are 10 phenomena we are witnessing today that were recorded centuries ago in Bible prophecy.
Join Dr. David Jeremiah in his series, Where Do We Go From Here? On the next episode of Turning Point, right here on this station.
Weekends on the Dove TV. The world has a view, but God has the vision. That's what sets the Vision TV show apart. The Vision is an inspirational talk show that elevates voices of faith through powerful conversations, highlighting changemakers making a difference, blending heartfelt storytelling with practical insight, encouraging viewers to live life with clarity, compassion, and vision. Join Alveda King and friends for The Vision, Tuesdays right here on the Dove TV.
Welcome back, and quite an honor to have back with us today Dr. Andrew Fox. He's a cultural expert, educator, author. He's got a new book coming out, and you can pre-order it now, Truth in the Age of Applause. You can go to truthintheageofapplause.com and pre-order the book. There's a picture of the cover on the screen there. I think you'll find it to be pretty fascinating how stupidity is ruining the American dream. Sticking with your passion about what's happening with the culture, one of the headlines out there, Dr. Fox, is the Women National Basketball Association, and it appears that the W of the NBA is unable to define what the W means. It's gotten quite confusing, very dramatic, and somewhat humorous when you have the big boys from the NBA saying we're available for draft.
Yeah.
That is kind of really slap in the face. But why is this even happening?
Well, I mean, you can look at it at a cultural or theological level. Culturally, there is satire to it that a fourth grader would even laugh at. The other day, 15 women got together in the WNBA to decide what a woman was. Well, just the principle of that is absolutely hideous. If you got a meteorite that comes from outer space and lands in Arizona, and NASA go pick it up, and you got 400 people determining where did this come from? What is it? What is its nature? Is it radioactive? Is it a new metal? Can we manufacture it ourselves? That's good. But when you get a woman playing basketball, shooting baskets as a woman, competing against women, that's not the same as NASA going to discover a meteorite that's just hit the earth in Arizona. And so you got 15 women that cannot even decide as biological women what a woman is. And yet you've got Sophie Cunningham, who very casually just said, let's keep women in women's sports, girls in girls' sports. And the onslaught that woman has got is just incredible. But, you know, where sin abounds, grace abounds. And I don't know her faith or practice. I know she used to play football before she was a basketball player. And I would say to her, she should be the next press secretary for the President of the United States of America. She's got what it takes to go against the flow. And so when Cantor or Katner and White came out and said they're declaring for the WNBA, these two men are 6'10" each. They're built like Goliath with beards. And satirically, they're saying we're declaring now for the WNBA. And they're doing it on purpose to test the policy. Because if the WNBA turn around and says, go away, you're men, obviously, you cannot be drafted for any team in the WNBA. Then they've caught them out. What are you going to do? But if they say, well, we can't really define a woman, but you look like a man, smell like a man, play like a man, act like a man, talk like a man, then you might be a woman. And so it's just hideous. And you have to see behind the veil of that theologically, that there is nothing more terrible than the onslaught against what it is to be a woman as God created you. Again, I made reference to it before in Massachusetts, signing that bill into a child can be aborted the day before it's born. It's just atrocious. And yet another attack by women against women, and it's called women's health. And so bring it back to the WNBA that are heavily funded by the NBA and wouldn't survive without the NBA.
Right.
it is just a laughing stock, but a test of their policy. And how they respond to these two giant men that are declaring themselves is going to expose how solid their policy really is.
Could this carry over into the Olympics and other challenges?
Well, it already has done. A number of years ago, I wrote a piece called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and the parenthesis was called competitive bosh, bosh being a British word for garbage, rubbish. And what I did, I started in Athens and worked my way through 2016 and showed how women were never included in athletics back in the Olympian days of Athens. And right up until 2016, the majority of athletes were men. But in 2016, there was an equal split between men and women. And you think, great, now women have their own brand, their own name. It's wonderful. They're unique of who they are, and we love watching them compete. But exactly at the same time, 2016, the committee of the Olympics introduced transgenderism. And so now you've got men competing against women that have been trying since Athens for centuries to be recognized. 2016 become household names. And now they've got men to compete with that are declaring themselves as women. It's already happened. And so my solution to that was, you've got Paralympics for those that are physically impaired. Just create a Trans Olympics, which I don't mean this in a mocking way, but I would love to watch just for pure comedy, to see it all take place. Men trying to be women, competing as women, and yet performing like men. I'd love to see the fallout from that. So it's already happened.
Yeah. To that end, it appears that this exposure of the nonsense is obviously gaining some good traction, which we appreciate, even from a theological point of view. But it's also showing up in the DEI slowly being kicked out of some departments and agencies. We're seeing it in the War Department, we're seeing it in the State Department, and we're seeing it in corporate America. Do you think it will be totally abolished or just slowed down?
That's a good question. I would say the jury's out. On the answer to that, the Trump-Rubio approach to this is not to destroy equal opportunity. Equal opportunity in the State Department still exists, but they're doing away with the DEI and bringing it back to merit-based. And quite frankly, with the State Department, can you represent the United States in a foreign country in the way the United States should be represented, instead of bringing your own agenda? Now, I don't care, and I'm sure Rubio doesn't care if that's a man or a woman. But to have a transgender in that role is, on the first base, someone pretending. So how can they be taken seriously in representing the country they're sent from as an ambassador to another country? How can you take someone seriously who, on their first moment out the gate, are pretending to be something that they're not?
Yeah.
So it's not an abolishing of equal opportunity. It's just getting back to, look, the State Department is about foreign policy.
Right.
It's not about social policy.
There we go.
And if you bring social policy, you should be fired.
I got to go, but you're fascinating and you're inspiring. Thank you, friend. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out the book, truthintheageofapplause.com. There's a picture of the cover of the book. You can pre-order it now. Dr. Fox, let's stay connected. God bless you, my friend. Thanks for your time.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but